The Ink and Paint Club podcast is intended for mature audiences. I know we're usually talking about kids' cartoons and stuff, but there's going to be naughty language. Anyway, listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, your weekly home for animation reviews and discussions.
Alrighty, you knuckleheads, it's time for another Ink and Paint Club podcast. Yeah.
Alright, chuckle fucks.
Yeah, so I am your host, JD, and with me, as always, is my best bro, Mr. Kyle.
It's me.
It is you. And joining us for a second week in a row, Mr. Dustin is here.
Hi, I'm your host, JD.
No, you're not. You're an imposter.
Oh shit, I've been found out.
Oh no.
Never mind.
And Mr. Phil is here too.
Yep.
There he is.
There.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. And making his long-awaited return, Mr. Gary is here.
Hello! How long has this been?
I don't know. It's been a while.
Is it really him? The Mr. Gary?
The Mr. Gary.
Wow.
In all his glory.
I can't believe it. It's a night of 1,000 stars tonight.
Yep, once in a blue moon.
Oh, Jesus. So, if you tuned in last week, we were talking all about Kids WB and all of our splendid memories of it.
Is that
so
tune with the T-U-N-E or T-O-O-N?
I'll let you be the judge of that. So this week, we're going to give Fox Kids its turn.
If we have to.
We don't have to. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to do this show.
Mom
Okay,
says
never
it's
mind.
my
See you
turn to
guys.
be talked about in the podcast.
Alright, well, if we don't have to talk about this, then never mind. See you
All
guys
right, we'll
later.
just leave.
Thanks for joining us this week. Next week, we'll be talking about some other bullshit, I'm sure.
That's a sad, accurate description.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty apt description of our show.
No, I like Fox Kids. I have good Fox Kids memories.
Yeah, most of my Fox Kids memories are Digimon related, but I also have others.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
something at least.
Who would have thunk?
Yeah, it's not as if I talk about it constantly.
It was Fox Kids or ABC for me. That's it. Those were the only two.
One Saturday morning. We should do that next week.
Next week's our 3rd year anniversary. We gotta answer questions.
Fuck
By the way,
third year anniversary.
What better way to celebrate the 3rd year anniversary than talking about One Saturday Morning?
Featuring
talk
Manny
about
the Uncanny.
Yeah, Manny the Uncanny, Teacher's Pet,
Pepper in.
all the hard-hitting hits. Yeah.
Is she cool? Is she lame?
And Doug.
Oh, you're talking about what's-her-name.
oh god.
But that's for another day.
Yes. So,
Another Saturday.
Oh, fuck.
So we're gonna just go. I can't talk tonight. So in the interest of actually having stuff to talk about, we actually went through the list of Fox Kids programs and marked off the ones we didn't see. So
No dead air this week.
yeah, there you go. So what's all y'all's favorite memories of Fox Kids back in the
Digimon.
yesteryear?
I remember I used to watch it a lot. I think I started watching it more around the 96, 97, 98 time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a lot of shows I liked. A lot that I have nice fond memories about, and a lot that I have vague memories about.
Yeah.
Fox Kids was more action, somewhat.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a more action cartoon oriented block than Kids WB was.
Yeah, now that you say that, that kind of is the case. Yeah, Kids WB kind of swayed more comedy most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fox Kids had action shows like Monster Rancher, Godzilla the series, Angela Anaconda.
With his Power Ranger, nobody can beat that.
I know. The quintessential action show that I was not allowed to watch as a kid because my dad said it was too violent.
Oh yeah, Uncle Ted giving noogies to Bobby's very violent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Scarred me for life.
That's Uncle Ted's smash move.
It's his down B. But speaking of Uncle Ted, why don't we just jump right into the shows here and talk about Bobby's World?
Yes, let's talk about Bobby's World.
Let's talk about Howie Mandel.
Before he hosted Deal or No Deal?
He's a bald germaphobe.
He sure
Yes, he is. He has very bad OCD.
Poor.
But he originally looked like Swanky Kong.
So
Those of you listening, look up Swanky Kong and
So
Howie Mandel.
Is the dad in this show supposed to be Howie Mandel?
Yeah. Or
Yes.
Seinfeld. One of them.
He does
Seinfeld
look like Seinfeld.
Seinfeld with a ponytail.
And what's the deal with my cartoon?
What's the deal with Bobby?
That boy ain't right.
I
Anyway,
mean, he has a high-pitched voice.
He sounds like Skeeter from Muppet Babies, because Howie Mandel was Skeeter from Muppet Babies.
oh god, yeah, it's true.
And
Oh, Howie
Gizmo on Gremlin.
Oh yeah, he was Gizmo.
But Bobby's World was a show about a little boy with quite a wild imagination.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself.
Dustin, what was his name?
Like Robbie or something.
Robert
But,
Generic.
Bobby's
Yeah,
World is a show about a kid whose entire family hates him.
Everyone
in that family treats him like absolute garbage.
Man, his family was definitely the stereotypical cartoon family. Like his sister had like the Valley Girl voice, and he had the older brother who always picked on him.
And his
That
mom was
was-
a Canadian.
Oh yeah,
Don't you know?
don't you know?
Kyle, she's from
His
Wisconsin.
His brother was Jay from the Clerks animated series. That's all I think whenever I see him.
Oh yeah, because he has the rat tail.
Yeah, and he has that like dot-eyed face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it.
But what are your guys' memories of Bobby's World?
Uncle Ted and Captain Squash.
Squash. He wants his Captain Squash game.
What was the name of his like spider doll?
Webley.
As a kid, I always liked that doll and wanted it.
Oh yeah, I think they actually did sell it at one point.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, I always liked that design.
Yeah, it's Webley.
I know I've seen Bobby's World, but like literally the most memory I have of it is having a toy from the Wendy's kids meal.
Was it Wendy's or McDonald's?
It was Wendy's.
Hmm.
Back when Wendy's
Yeah,
still had a kids meal.
Oh yeah.
They don't have it anymore.
I will say one thing positive about Bobby's World. I really like the intro a lot. I think it's really cool looking, and I like the theme a lot.
The intro's pretty fun.
Pretty trippy.
It is trippy. That's why it's so great.
I don't know if I could say much about the actual show though. It was not as fun as the intro.
It was like their last name, very generic.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It seemed like how you guys were saying his whole family treats him like shit. Only Uncle Ted was on his level. He's the only one
Yeah,
that
pretty
kinda
much.
gave him some respect.
Well, yeah, and his
He had to
dog
pay the-
Roger. Yeah.
He had to pay the price with noogies though.
Yeah.
That's the only way he could get Uncle
Noogies.
Ted's respect.
Oh, didn't he have like a weird girlfriend that always liked him, and like her pigtails were like super long?
Yeah, she always said like, "Hi, Bobby."
Oh yeah,
And
'cause
she's
it's
voiced by
Debbie
Jimmy
Derryberry.
Neutron. Yeah, she's voiced
Yeah,
by Jimmy Neutron.
Neutron.
Look, that's the thing. I'm sure that Debbie Derryberry is a very talented voice actress, but I can never unhear Jimmy Neutron from any character she plays.
Oh,
blast.
pretty much.
Brain blast!
She,
Yeah, it's
She-
funny.
she-
Everyone who anyone who hears her voice is always like, "Oh, she does Jimmy Neutron. That's Jimmy Neutron." Like
You
that's
know,
the role she's most known for.
she takes that with pride though, because some people have their definitive characters, and Jimmy Neutron's hers.
Yeah.
Listen to Coco from
whatever
Crash
works.
Bandicoot. It's oof.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy Neutron.
They need to get, for the next Crash game, they need to get characters that sound like Sheen and Carl.
Get Carl Salas-Racki and Rob Paulson in there.
Yeah. But the Jimmy Neutron was not in Bobby's World, just the voice.
I think that predates it by about 10 years.
They both have big heads, though.
It's true.
That's true. Bobby has a weird thing going on with his nose and mouth.
Oh,
His
yeah,
ti-
he
his
does.
tiny little- his
None
tiny
of the
little-
other members of the family look like that.
His whole body's weird. Like, his hands and feet are really big, too.
What a freak Bobby is.
He's
His mom
a
had an
freak. That's
affair.
why his family hates him.
They all resent his existence.
Remember when his mom got pregnant with the twins? Those babies are really ugly looking, too.
It's a family of ugly people.
Pretty
Exactly.
much.
They named him.
You don't
Well,
get redesigned. You don't
that's
get
what
redesigned until you're a teenager.
That's what happens when you have a mixed breed of Howie Mandel and a Canadian.
There you go. It was Dirt Bike and Cleopatra.
Did they
I get
really
that
name...
reference.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, Cleopatra Dirtbike Funny. That was her actual name they gave her.
Jesus.
Don't let children name your other children.
That's what I'm going to name my child.
I hope so.
You're gonna name your child Donkey Kong Banjo Kazooie Jackson.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, Donkey Kong, have a good day at school. Remember that all the other kids are just jealous.
I would be.
Maybe I'll do him one better, name him Funky Kong, so that way he's
He's
guaranteed he's guaranteed popularity. But I streamed some Bobby's World a while back, and yeah, everyone's a jerk to Bobby. Like, his parents kind of unknowingly so. Like, they're not, like, outright jerks to Bobby, just kind of, like, kind of jerky. But his brother and sister are enormous assholes to him.
Yeah, well, Bobby's not such a nice guy himself. He was kind of being a fag.
He brings it upon himself.
Yeah, he does.
But, that's about all there is to say
Yeah.
about Bobby. It wasn't
Yeah.
a super interesting show.
Lasted for a long time, though.
You can watch
Yeah,
like
it's-
every episode on Kabillion, though.
Yeah, they uploaded, like, all of them to YouTube.
There you go. So if you ever...
In case
Joan-
anyone out there is just dying to watch Bobby's World again.
You know I am. Anyway.
I don't go a single day without watching.
Where's the reboot?
I don't know.
It's coming sooner or later.
Great. So...
Speaking of coming sooner or later, let's move on to our next show, Tasmania.
Yeah. Do we... I think we might have mentioned this last week, because it was technically on Kids WB, but it started out on Fox.
Yeah, I think it was the Fox original at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember watching Tasmania. I just know Taz has like a family or something.
I watched it recently. There's the humor is like, Tiny Toons Animaniacs. Like, it's very hit and miss. Like, there's some really good stuff in there, and then there's some really, it's not as great.
Mhm.
It has a great theme song, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love the theme.
The sky's always yellow in the rain or shine.
Yeah. Some of the side characters are really, like, Taz's dad's great.
The Bob Hope character.
Yeah.
And a blah 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 yakety snackety.
Yakety schmackety. And
A tall glass of OJ.
I love Bull Gator and Axel just because John Ashton and Rob Paulson are just great together.
Yeah, I remember them being like a couple of my favorite side characters.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird because I think before Cartoon Network had its own programming, this was the only way I saw this show. Was like
Yeah, this was kind of like the first kind of newer show they had on Fox Kids. Or on
Yeah,
Cartoon
it
Network,
was.
I meant.
I think it was like one of the first of the WB originals too. I think.
Yeah.
Which
The
is
first
weird though,
new
because
WB show.
it's weird though that because Taz wasn't really in many Looney Tunes shorts beforehand. They were just like, let's just give this guy his own show.
Yeah, it's weird how Taz's popularity kind of exploded, even though he was only in like 5 or 6 cartoons, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It
But
was
then he
Like
was in
Marvin the
Space
Martian.
Yeah, he was in Space Jam.
He was good in Space
The
Jam.
Slam
I mean,
Jam.
He
it
said
was-
lemony fresh.
It was probably Space Jam that boosted his popularity.
Well, Tasmania came before Space, like long before Space.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it
One great thing about Tasmania though were the certain episodes where Taz pretty much acknowledges he's in a show and he starts talking in Jim Cummings' normal voice.
That's my favorite part.
Very meta.
Anytime he speaks like fluent English.
Those are great.
I remember there was one episode, Taz starts the episode and he's like really tired and out of it. And he just collapses on the ground and he just says, "Listen, I got a level with you folks. Boy, am I ever tired."
You don't mind, right? And then it just cuts to that one kid who always tries to hunt him.
Yeah, the kid with the bowl cut.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite character.
I forget his name.
Like, Francis X. Bushlad?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right. As soon as you said that, I could hear it in the theme song.
Yeah, that's the only reason I remember it is because of the theme. What other character? There were the Bush Rats. They were kind of cool.
The Bush Rat, Didgeridingo,
And Wendell T. Wolf.
Wendell, the Platypus Brothers.
Oh, the Platypus Brothers. Who could forget?
I just remember the alligators.
Yeah, they're the best
Well,
ones.
they're the best characters. That's why.
G-Ball.
Jibo.
It's funny, they referenced that on Duck Dodgers once, the Duck Dodgers show.
Yeah, they did.
What an obscure reference for them to pull.
I love that show.
Because, like, Tasmania was, like, the first WB show, but it was never, like, the biggest one. I'd say it's probably the most looked
Yeah, it didn't have Steven Spielberg's name attached to it either.
Yeah. But I remember it being pretty good.
Yeah, it has its moments.
I have no qualms with Tasmania.
One joke I've seen is one episode where I forget the koala's name, but she gets kidnapped by Bull and Axel, and Taz is like helping her, but he doesn't know where to go or where she went, and then a random flower just starts talking to him. He goes, look, he's like, look, I'm just an inanimate object, but just to move the plot along, she's been kidnapped by those gators.
I see. That's a show that knows when to break the rules of its own universe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know that. So Joe Murray wrote a book on creating cartoons a while ago.
I have that book.
And it's a very good book. And one of the rules he says is, like he says, the most important thing in cartoons is never break the rules of your own universe. It needs to be a solidly constructed world.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at Tasmania, there's sometimes when breaking the rules leads to some
You
very
just gotta
funny
know-
jokes.
you gotta know the right
that doesn't
time.
make sense. That doesn't make sense though, because Camp Leslie broke the rules all the time.
Yeah, especially at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Tasmania actually has some DVDs out, not like whole seasons, but like I think it has a couple.
It's seasons and sets. It's like season
Oh,
1,
okay.
part 1. Yeah, so technically,
Yeah.
yes, it does.
I might need to pick one of those up.
Well, all right.
Anyone else have anything to say about good old Tasmania?
I mean, I'm good.
I like
Just drink a glass of OJ.
And a blah 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 yakety smackety.
I like Jim Cummings. He's the best.
Jim Cummings is one of my favorite voice actors.
Yeah, same. He's great.
We met him
Every
once.
time he shows up.
Didn't we, Kyle?
What?
Kyle, we met him once, right?
Yeah, that was.
I could have met him.
Melanie has a picture with him. He was delightful.
That's awesome. I could have met him. There was a con here in Idaho, but I didn't end up going for some reason. I would have gone
Jesus.
had I known he was there.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
We saw him at Rob Paulson's podcast thing. It was about Disney afternoon stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't know who anybody else was except for Jim Cummings, so. A lot of it was lost on me.
He did Pete and Darkwing Duck.
He sure did.
The fact that he was Darkwing Duck alone makes him a hero of mine.
Yeah. So, Kyle, tell us about Super Dave.
Oh, yeah.
You were so adamant in putting this on the list.
You better have something good to say about it.
Oh, I like Super Dave. I used to watch this probably on different channels.
Didn't it air on Toon Disney for a while?
It did. It was one of those late night shows with Sonic and Bump in the Night.
Yeah. But I think I saw it on UPN too? I'm not too sure.
Oh,
wow.
yeah, UPN.
But,
So, like, was it on Fox Kids first, or was it on UPN?
I think it was. I think
Yeah.
it was the Fox Kids original.
Okay.
Yeah, but it probably got syndicated after a while.
So it's based on a comedian's persona, and I kind of liked it.
Based off a comedian's persona.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was his fursuit. But, no, I liked this show because he was, like, not really a superhero, but somewhat. It was kind of
He was
a
like a
weird
bumbling superhero.
He was, from what I remember, he was sort of like a goofball. He's like a superhero, like Evel Knievel, but really bad at his job.
Yeah, he always gets hurt.
Yeah.
And Charlie Adler was like this kind of bad guy doctor that would like heal him, but like fuck him up too.
Interesting.
It was weird. But then they had his sidekick. I forget what his name was, but it was pretty
He was
racist.
really racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a tiny Asian guy with big buck teeth. That's all I
Oh
remember.
boy.
And big glasses.
Yes.
Yeah, and big glasses.
And he had the accent and everything.
Nothing racist.
Way to
about
go, early 90s.
And I
it. It was
think
a different time.
I was reading on like future airings they like had to redub all his lines to make it like less bad.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
His sidekick's name was Fuji. And
Oh.
they got complaints from Asian American groups that the character was an offensive stereotype.
Jeez, I wonder why.
Why would they do that? Why would they complain about
Because
that?
his name was Fuji.
Oh, I could see that.
But
That was the.
oh, go on.
I'm surprised he's not wearing one of those rice hats.
Just take it a little bit further.
Just go all out with them.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the art style for this. This kind of reminds me of Earther and Jim. You got the top-heavy character with skinny-ass legs.
It definitely feels like a 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
It has that sort of feel to it.
It was fun. I don't remember too much about it, but it's worth noting that that was a thing.
It was.
Well, alright then. Good stuff.
He used to scream a lot. That was like his catchphrase was screaming.
His catchphrase is
man.
screaming.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Oh my god. So how about you guys tell me what the deal with Eek the Cat is? I've never watched
we can
this
tell you
show.
about Eek the Cat.
Yeah, okay. Eek the cat. He was a very charming, happy-go-lucky purple cat who liked to help anybody. That was pretty much his catchphrase. It never hurts to help.
It never hurts to help.
Good moral lessons for the kids.
But he was one of those characters where his kind of naivete and overly willing to help gets him into bad situations.
Pretty much. He pretty much was a walking punching bag.
He has a funny voice. I just realized from doing a shitty impression of him that he's very fun to impersonate.
Yeah, and he has a very fat girlfriend.
What do you mean?
Actually, that was a running joke. Like, he was like, here's my girlfriend Annabelle, isn't she something? Everyone's like, wow, she's kind of fat. And he's like, really?
He never noticed because he was so into her personality.
He sees her inner beauty.
Yeah, but her dog, Sharky, the shark dog, did not like him one bit.
Sharky, I always liked Sharky's design as a kid. I thought
Yeah,
it was really
Sharky's cool looking.
Yeah, I remember. Do any of you guys remember Discovery Zone?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
DC.
Yes.
We brought it up last time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
It was a bunch
oh,
of ball
man.
pits.
This is gonna. Let's just bring it up in every episode from now on.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I just remember they had a Fox Kids promotion going at the time where they had like, I remember they had Eek the Cat stuff there. They had Space Goofs. We'll get to Space Goofs. Don't you worry, people. But yeah, I just remember. I remember seeing a lot of Eek the Cat stuff there, and like they had something Sharky related. This story's going nowhere. Sharky just reminded me of it.
Sharky's there. That's all.
Yeah, Sharky's
It's a
there.
beautiful story.
This show was popular enough to have a Super Nintendo game.
I mean, that's
A
art
very
quality right
bad
there.
Super Nintendo game.
Wasn't it like not even Eek the... I think it was originally a different game entirely and was reskinned to Eek the Cat for the US.
Yeah, it was.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, you're right. It was.
Funny that they thought Eek was a big enough property to do that with.
I remember they
I mean-
had Carl's Jr. toys.
Yeah, like I don't know. I like Eek the Cat, but it never seemed to me like it was that big a show.
It wasn't. I mean, it was funny, but like I can barely remember too much about it.
I'd kind of like to stream more of it. I liked what I saw.
I know. One episode it was like a direct parody of Pulp Fiction.
Does he look like a bitch?
I remember watching this a lot as a kid. I liked it.
It's good.
Good cartoony fun.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's just a nice,
Yeah.
good old-fashioned cartoony show.
Pretty much.
You don't get shows like that anymore these days.
Would you guys say this was better, or would you say Schnookums and Meat was better?
Oh,
Well, both were made by the same guy, Bill Koff.
Yeah.
yeah, they were both
he made
same
both.
creator. I'll be honest. When I streamed Schnookums and Meat, I didn't think it was that bad.
Pit Possum was a highlight of it.
I did like
Yeah,
that
it
show.
had some good parts. I think the actual Schnookums and Meat parts with the cat and dog are the weakest parts, and then like the side segments were not too bad since they were more original.
Well,
But,
that's how Thunder Lizards was with Eek the Cat. I felt Thunder Lizards was a lot better than Eek the Cat.
I'd put them around the same level. I thought both were pretty good. Thunder Lizards has the best theme song of any cartoon ever made. Everyone listening, go listen to the terrible Thunder Lizards theme song.
Was the Thunder Lizards paired up with the Cavemen, or were they their own
Yeah, the
separate
Cavemen-
They
thing?
were always there. The cavemen were always there.
Okay.
Weren't they like always trying to kill them?
I think from what I remember, the cavemen were just there, and I don't think that the Thunder Lizards were trying to kill them. They just
They
only
just
saw.
kind of got.
They were
just
just
kind of got wrapped up in it.
Yeah, they always saw humans as the lower species, and sometimes they would just get in the way.
Yeah.
Because
And
the main enemy was like a bunch of like skeleton dinosaurs in hoods.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Whoa, someone made a sculpture of Eek.
Neato.
Interesting.
Kumbaya.
What was the other show? Clutter that was on
Clutter.
Extravaganza. Let's talk about Clutter.
He was a pile of clothes that came to life. The end.
Pixar made a short about that.
Well, it wasn't literally about Clutter. It was just kind of a similar.
It's very. It definitely reminds me of Clutter.
It looks very. It's like a similar sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the not as remembered of the Extravaganza.
Well, I don't remember it at all, so there you go.
I wouldn't mind watching more Eek the Cat. I liked what I saw. It was a nice show.
JD was just a wee baby.
I was just a wee baby.
I remember when I was a little kid. I remember missing Eek the Cat all the time. I remember it being the one Fox Kids show I wanted to see, and then like I would just always tune into Fox like right as it was ending. I would always
Ain't
miss
that just the way?
That is just the
man.
way. And I mean, that's about all I got to say about Eat the Cat. It was nice. It was cartoony fun. It was nice and simple.
Yeah.
Yep, and it had Weird Al in it once.
Oh, it did? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Weird Al was in an episode
Weird Al
once.
knows how to pick
He's
his
in all
properties.
sorts of cartoons.
He met Johnny Bravo once.
Along with the Blue Falcon and Don Knotts.
Aw, don't be blue.
Oh god. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, my lordy bagordy.
So what do
Speaking of X-Men,
we? You're getting great segue.
Which we definitely were.
So yeah, I didn't really watch any of the Marvel shows that were on Fox Kids. Like I've seen episodes of the '90s X-Men, and I know most people consider it like the best X-Men show ever made, which I would contend that X-Men Evolution is much better, but that's just me.
well, this one's based on the Jim Lee designs from the 90s.
It's very '90s.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I kind of like the gritty art style it's going for.
Yeah, the only thing I remember about X-Men from that era is just the arcade game, and that was it.
Well, the arcade game was based on a failed pilot that they did before this one, where Wolverine was Australian.
That would explain Wolverine's weird color scheme.
Yeah.
And that.
He's Australian and all that stuff.
I didn't know that. That's
Called Pride of the X.
Did they do a crossover with
They
Spider-Man?
sure do. So yeah, this and the Spider-Man show are all in the same universe, because there's like an episode or an arc or something where Spider-Man goes to visit the X-Men.
Take that, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He just visits them. He's like, "Hey guys, want to hang out? Yeah, let's hang out, Spider-Man."
Well, I don't know if I think I
was
forgot to
so
put it on the list,
confused.
but there was a lot of Marvel shows that I think were pretty much all in the same universe on this. I know they had this and Spider-Man, and there was a Hulk show, and there was an Iron Man show. I think there was a Fantastic Four show.
That's right.
I'm not
I
sure which one of them are
remember
in canon with each other. I know Spider-Man and X-Men are, but
The Juggernaut is here.
yeah.
Oh wow! I just found a picture from this X-Men cartoon, and Beast has a very, very wall-eyed design.
Yeah.
He doesn't know which way to
I will
look.
say, the biggest thing I've gotten out of X-Men is there's this stupid web compilation thing. It's just called Previously on X-Men, and it's just the dumbest shit that happens on this show.
Oh, the funniest one is they have a compilation of Professor X screaming.
It happens a lot.
That's what Professor X is most known for, his horrific shrieks into
And
the
then
night.
it's just,
Well,
and there's just
yeah.
compilations of every time someone falls down, which happens a lot.
Falls downstairs.
Yeah.
His worst enemy, stairs.
And then the blob says Tutti Frutti. Tutti Frutti.
Nobody moves the blob.
No one can hurt the blob. Not a...
This show sure led to a lot of
It
memes.
sure
didn't
did.
It's got the
That
Wolverine
game's
on
in the game.
The Wolverine looking.
Wolverine on the bed looking at a picture.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Thanks, Marvel. We got
See, kids, not all memes
Yeah.
are bad.
Rogue's ass.
Who could
Southern
forget?
Belle Charms.
No,
voiced her?
I don't know.
I think wasn't it just a bunch of Canadian voice actors? I swear it
Probably.
was.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, probably.
I'd believe
Marvel's
it.
not getting out for American voice actors. They cost too much.
They always get Canadians, yeah.
Canadians.
Lenore Zan.
The fuck is that?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Sounds saucy.
I
Anyway,
think she's.
You could have literally told me any actress and I would have believed you.
Yeah, it's a bunch of
Dude.
Canadians because Alison Court is
Dude.
Jubilee, and she was Lydia on Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I forgot. That one I knew. I forgot about
She
that.
was in the Mummy cartoon.
I forgot they made a Mummy cartoon.
Oh wow, really?
I forgot the Mummy had a cartoon.
That should have been on the Kids WB show if I had watched it. But
Mummy's alive! I forgot about Mummy's
Oh yeah,
alive.
forgot
I used to
about
watch the
Mummy's
fuck
Live.
out of Mummy's Alive.
I never. I remember it was on every morning.
Oh
but
my
I never
God.
watched it.
Put a peg in it, guys. We're doing a show about Deke one of these days. That's a gold mine right there.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, 90s
Plenty to talk
X-Men.
about for Deke.
It was all right. I don't know. It was kind of boring for me as a kid, kind of in the way that Batman the Animated Series was kind of boring as a kid. I'm sure if I watched it now, I'd probably enjoy it more.
I think this was more for the teenagers.
Yeah.
Because I know my brother really liked to watch this.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't interested at all in it.
Yeah, I was never a big superhero cartoon guy as a kid, but I remember kind of respecting what X-Men did, I guess. Like, I didn't hate it. But
Yeah.
I also never watched it.
It was back in the day when superheroes were like, yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
It has a pretty kick-ass theme
It
song.
does have a badass
Yeah,
theme
it
song.
does.
Theme
The best
song
out
is
of all
great.
of them.
Anyway.
I watched Spider-Man first, and then watched a few episodes of X-Men when they did the crossover, and I was so confused. It's like, why aren't the bad guy in X-Men also going after Peter Parker and Spider-Man? I
right?
did not know anything about crossovers.
Come on,
actually.
continuity, Marvel.
It was your first crossover. What an event!
I was so
Wonder-
confused.
I wonder if they were in the same universe where they couldn't throw punches.
And Wolverine couldn't stab anybody.
Just rolled around on the
Oh
ground.
my god.
I wonder, did he ever use his claws? In
He
the cartoon?
used them, but you can never.
Cut up robots.
He did on robots, yeah. Like Leonardo did on robots and Ninja
Robots
Turtles.
aren't people.
Someone needs to slice up this sausage into slices. If only
He actually did that
someone-
once.
If only one of us X-Men had
He does.
claws.
He uses it to make a sandwich.
No, the Cyclops just comes out with a knife, and Wolverine's like,
Bro, I
God
got
damn it.
this. So yeah, X-Men was cool.
It was
Now-
all right.
I think one of the biggest things Fox Kids had and became like a fucking global phenomenon was Power Rangers. And I feel that
Which technically is not an original. They
Right.
just the American
don't
stuff
tell
was.
it to the head of Saban. He is very much of the belief that Power Rangers is his legal property.
Okay, I have
Well,
a,
he's a weirdo.
I have a story to tell with Power
Go
Ranger.
for it.
Ooh.
It's before I moved to the States, so watching a dub, and for whatever reason, the network that I was watching it on has the American version for one season, then Super Sentai, and then skip the next season to Power Ranger. So they're all dubbed, but none of the
very
stories
weird.
connected.
I'm sure, yeah, because Power Ranger and Super Sentai are like not at all related. Like they use the same footage, like for the fight scenes, but everything is completely different. Like,
So they skipped the season,
Right.
So it was really weird.
yeah, I watched one season. Well, I didn't watch the whole season because I need to go back and finish it. But I watched like one season of Super Sentai, and it's like, it's very interesting how we interpreted it over here. At least the around plots, because in America, it's always just like teenagers, specifically teenagers with attitude, being Power Rangers.
and Bulk and
Yeah,
Skull.
exactly. Bulk and Skull are the best part.
Who could forget Bulk and Skull?
Now, I would like to point out that Alpha 5 was voiced by Richard
sure
Corliss.
Invader Zim himself.
Yeah.
Aye, aye, aye.
That was before anyone even knew who Richard was,
Right.
too.
Was that like his first role?
Yeah, I think it was, or at
One of
least his first voice
Yeah, it
role.
was pretty
Yeah.
early for him.
Yeah.
I can't think of Goldar without thinking of a Vine video.
This is the one with him and Muscle Man.
Yeah, it's him, Muscle Man, Kuwabara,
Oh yeah, because they all sound.
and
They
Yajirobe.
all sound.
They all sound the same.
Didn't Goldar sound like this?
Yeah, he
Who
did.
was supposed to get those Power Rangers?
Gee, Rita.
So
Oh yeah, and Rita Repulsa was voiced by I don't know her name, but she voiced Nauta in Fooly Cooly.
Oh yeah, she's also in Flint, the Time Detective too.
Yeah.
hold on to your pants, kids. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. And then later on, they brought in Lord Zed.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
the
He was just a
dude.
meat
I
man.
have the saddest story. I have the saddest story about Lord Zed. or rather his
Uh-oh.
voice
Tell us.
actor, because he's voiced by a guy, like, his last name's Axelrod. I forget what his first name is.
I think I remember hearing
But-
something about this. But, go on.
But so he apparently keeps getting invited to this convention that's held at me and Melanie's college, and fucking this year we finally got a table to set up an artist alley, and the voice actor was set up right across the aisle from us. And, like, nobody came to see him. Like, every now and then, but most of the time he was just sitting there, this sad old guy, just, like, sitting there by himself. He, like, fell asleep for a good hour once.
Jesus.
Oh, that's
And
too
it's like,
bad.
oh. It's like,
I would have said hi. You
I know,
voiced
it's
a
like you
character
were-
on a
yeah,
show
you-
I watched once.
Yeah, you were Lord Zed. He was actually cool looking,
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I liked the show as
They
a
made
kid.
him
I knew who
specifically
Lord Zed was.
for Power Ranger. The studio in Japan specifically made him for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He was
That's
never in
interesting.
any of the Super Sentai
Yeah.
shows.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it's weird because I've never watched Mighty Morphin or any of the ones that were on Kids WB. I didn't watch Power Rangers until it was on Jetix when they started doing like Wild Force and all. Because I've seen Wild Force, Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, and SPD, but that's all I've seen.
Silent but deadly.
I was super into it as a kid. Or at least the first couple seasons, I think. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then the one they did after the movie where they were like ninjas, I think.
Yeah, they get ninja powers from space.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
stopped watching after the first movie.
I remember seeing that movie in theaters.
Oh, really? I only remember the McDonald toys where it was the Power Rangers and they had, like, their new vehicles.
Yeah, I met quote unquote the White Ranger at McDonald's. He was doing an appearance.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it was the actual actor. Maybe it was.
You know,
it was in. I don't know where they filmed the show.
It might have been him. He really likes Tommy Oliver likes being in Power Ranger stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was in California,
Maybe.
so
Jason David Frank does
I
like
started
it.
watching Lost
Go
in Space.
on.
That's the first one that I actually followed.
Oh yeah,
in space.
yeah,
Yeah, the
Power
one that
Rangers
had
and-
this weird space colony.
Yeah,
Power Rangers, but they're in
yeah.
space.
Power Rangers got weird for a bit there.
Power Rangers, but their
So
cars.
hey,
Turbo.
Turbo a Power Rangers movie is a cinematic classic, Phil. The one where the
I
little
believe
boy turns into a giant muscular man.
Oh.
It is not explained at all. I think
You
he
know,
remarks
you
like, "Hey, I'm
kids
taller"
Power
or something
Rangers.
like that. But it's about it.
These stupid kids will watch whatever.
Pretty
we put
much.
on.
Kids are dumb.
I remember I had a lot of Power Rangers toys as a kid. I remember I wanted the Pudgy Pig one, and Pudgy Pig is just a pig head with arms and legs
Yeah.
and a Trojan helmet.
Oh, yeah. I don't... Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know why I liked his design so much as a kid, but he was the number one character I wanted a toy
It's
of.
like his
'Cause
arms.
he's a...
His arms are coming out of his mouth, right? They're like tusks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now.
What a freak! What a monstrosity this creature is. Why did I like this guy as a kid? He's an awful
There he is.
monster.
I only had one Power Ranger toy as a kid, and it was like the Blue Ranger from the movie, like in their ninja outfits. And I got it for like my birthday from a friend, and my dad just like looked at it as like, I don't know about that, because he was like very much was in the mindset that Power Rangers was a very violent show for kids, even though I don't think he ever watched it. To check, I think just other parents told him that.
It's like, I don't want you playing with this fag. That's pretty
He
rough,
let me
Dad.
he let me keep it. He's like, all right, fine, because it was a gift. So that made it okay.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo game was pretty fun.
I never played the Super Nintendo one, but I did play the Sega Genesis one.
I played the shitty one on the N64. Fucking
good.
Lightspeed Rescue
Oh boy.
with the
Good
one
job.
with their trains.
Wasn't the Super Nintendo one like a side-scrolling beat 'em up?
Yeah, Bandai made it, no less.
Nice. The Genesis one was just like a 2D fighting game, like Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
I think.
they did that like a couple games later, like, yeah.
Yeah, I remember playing it, though, and I remember being very bad at it.
Yeah.
That's all my memories of Power Rangers. I don't remember anything else about it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
I just remember being really into it, and then
Yeah.
what was it? They had this gigantic brontosaurus, and that was like a special thing to come out.
Yeah.
And I never saw that episode, and then I fell out of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
The end.
That happens.
what a sad
It is a
story.
sad story.
But any like shitty convention I go to, it's like, oh hey, it's the guy that played the Red Ranger, and it's like no one cares.
Aw.
Just like what you were saying, it's just no one cares. It's that guy from the Ninja
That's
Turtles
sad.
movie. He hasn't had a career since that movie.
So.
Most people that goes to like smaller convention are too young to remember.
Yeah.
Like especially
That was the
Yeah.
problem when I saw the Lord Zed guy. Is like, there's no kid here that watched original Power Rangers, so no wonder this guy's not getting any visitors.
Who was
Like if-
cooler, Lord Zed or the Ooze guy?
Ivan Ooze.
Ivan
Lord
Ooze?
Zed.
Yeah.
It's not even a question,
Do you
Kyle.
think anyone would ever say Ivan Ooze?
They're wrong. Is what that
He looked like Apocalypse though.
kinda. He was purple
In
and
that new movie.
yeah.
He's got to have some fans out. Hey, anyone listening to the podcast, sign off if you're a big Ivan Ooze fan.
I'm gonna look up Ivan Ooze slash.
Oh my god! Please don't.
Please do and read it out loud for the podcast.
And do the voices.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm regretting this decision
I know you are.
already.
You got yourself into this mess.
Jesus. So, you guys want to just skip Spider-Man since we kind of talked about him in X-Men?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't care.
Okay.
Then
All
yes,
right.
we can.
Well, since I've never seen The Tick, I'll be right back. But you guys go ahead and talk about The Tick while I go to the bathroom.
What a loser.
Let's talk about the tick.
Yes.
Isn't that a movie?
I remember the tick slightly.
Dub dweed, dooda dub da.
I'll be honest, I have not seen much of the tick. I want to though.
I
I
love
hear
the
it's very
Tick.
good.
It had a really good scat theme song. I don't know. It was wild. One of my favorite episodes is Dinosaur Neil. It had a giant man that turns into a dinosaur. And it was
Oh
wild.
yeah, he had a Taco Bell toy.
He had a mustache. This is a giant dinosaur man with a mustache. It's the funniest fucking thing to me as a kid. It's still pretty funny.
Yeah, I feel like I would have loved it as a kid, but I never saw it.
I only remember Blowhole.
I don't think I remember that. I gotta look
It
it up.
was just a giant whale that was jogged.
Oh,
shit.
That sounds familiar.
I
to me.
remember it now.
And he
I
has like a
think I might
really
have seen an
stupid
episode.
music.
So this was one of those shows that was kind of weird because it appeared on Comedy Central in reruns.
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah, it
remember
did.
that.
But this was one of the things that my dad really liked to watch, and it was kind of one of those cool bonding moments. Watch cartoons.
That's awesome.
I think he still likes it too. But
That's sweet.
yeah, the Tick was awesome. One of my favorite jokes. I think it happens in like one of the first episodes. Chairface Chippendale wants to burn his name into the moon. And then anytime you see in the moon, it just says Cha on it because he stops him mid burning his name.
That's awesome.
I really need to watch The Tick.
Yeah, I do too.
The villains are just fucking weird. There's like a guy with a wingnut for a head. There's a guy with a chair for a head.
Lots of head-themed enemies.
Yeah. There's a guy with a sock puppet.
Batman well.
They've used the Tick property a lot since then. 2 live-action shows.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new one.
I've heard every iteration is pretty good.
The comic's still going too. I love the comic.
That's insane. I didn't know that it's still going.
They had a bad guy, and her name is Desperado, and she's a deer. And I think it's hilarious.
Kyle, is this where you get all your
That's
bad guy puns from?
I can say it's inspiration.
Jesus Christ.
Someone's gotta love those
Oh yeah, and then
very complex villains.
the best part about it is they have kind of a bad guy rival, and his name's the Tick too. And he's actually tick themed. He looks like Captain America. He has a big tick shield, and they fight for the name. And
that is a great idea.
they fight for the name, and then he gets pissed off because he has to use his real name, and it's just Barry. The Tick becomes the Tick.
He's earned the Tick name.
Yeah. Oh, I love this show. I need to rewatch it again, though.
And I need to watch it for the first time.
You should have asked me. I have the DVDs. I would have gave them to you.
Oh, shit. I should have asked and taken them from you.
Kyle just hands out things.
Yeah, then you wouldn't have any Tick DVDs, and what kind of friend would I be if I did that?
I can download them on streaming sites. It's no big deal.
Don't say that. That's illegal.
Oh.
He didn't mean that. Kyle didn't mean that. Everybody.
But I own them already, so it's okay.
Not if you give them to Dustin.
Oh, okay, in that
Dustin
case.
owns them.
Then I own them.
That's how copyright law works, right?
I don't
I
know.
don't know, man.
I don't know anything about the law.
Speaking of the law, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about the Tick.
Speaking of the Tick, it was a good show.
I wish I had more to say about
It
it.
was a good
There's another part where he gets in an argument with the guy at a diner, and he's just like, "You don't even suck blood," and then he gets a straw, and he's like, "You want to test that?" And he gets all angry. He was ready to throw down and drink some blood.
That's funny.
I fucking love the Tick. That's all I got.
He kind of was one of the first like comedy superheroes, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't really a thing, like a superhero parody at the time.
It was the Venture Brothers of its time.
That's cool. It deserves a lot of credit that it doesn't really get that often.
Freakazoid.
Yeah, Freakazoid kind of... I wonder if it was in any way inspired, or if it was just a coincidence that both were comedy superhero shows.
The Tick was like an 80s comic, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like
I didn't know it went that far back.
It was like an old black and white comic. Kind of the same thing as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's cool. Well, that's enough of the Tick, I think.
There we go.
Yes, let's talk about more interesting things like Life with Louie.
Anyone have anything to say about Life with Louie?
It's got Louie
I
Anderson.
remember they advertised the fuck
They
out
sure
of it
did.
on Fox Kids.
Yeah,
Him and his dad had weird voices.
Well, it was Louie Anderson, so...
Louie Anderson.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't think of Louis Anderson without that stupid Family Guy joke.
I'm Louie Anderson.
This is exactly how he sounds. I just remember it had, like, the ugliest fucking main character.
Yeah.
Like, the most
It was
unmarketable
literally...
character.
Yeah, how are they... This kid's gonna sell merchandise. Everyone's gonna be buying shirts with Louie Anderson on it.
I don't know what Fox Kids' obsession was with giving obscure comedians their
It was
own
the
cartoons.
90s, that's what we
Camp
did.
Candy.
Yeah. Camp Candy was syndicated, but yeah.
I think it was just the 90s, the 80s and the 90s.
What was
We need some sort of shows.
Rick Moranis' show? It's like Ghoul School.
The Ghoul School.
We need to do an episode on celebrity cartoons.
I like that the main fucking promo image is him in a Speedo,
Gross.
just chilling on a fucking pool pillow.
Gross.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think of first when I think of Life with Louie, because I remember like old Fox Kids promos showing that. God, just look at him. He's like a fat Montana Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my god.
And also, his best female friend was also voiced by Debbie Derryberry.
What are the odds? She liked playing the girlfriend in shows
Obscure comedians
I guess
shows,
so.
yeah.
by celebrities.
Oh boy, they have a Franco-American Life with Louie meatballs and pasta shape. I can't wait to
Was
get
Louis the meatball?
Damn. I can't wait to get my hands on that. Let's look on eBay.
They gotta be spoiled by
Oh,
now.
I can't wait.
It's in a can. It should be fine.
Yeah, they're fine. They hold up.
It's preserved.
They age like a fine wine.
They can last through a nuclear winter.
His dad has a weird design. He's like fat with a volcano head and very skinny legs.
Wasn't his dad like in Nam or something like that?
Yeah, he was. He's like, Louie, I was in the war.
No more pizza for Louis.
Kind of looks like Drew Carey a little bit.
Yeah, he does.
He does. He's like a cartoon Drew Carey if his head were really
right.
long.
Just like the glasses and the pudge.
JD loves Drew Carey.
Kyle just likes saying I like Drew Carey. Jesus.
I bought him a 8x10 sign, and I framed it.
You did.
You can't stop JD from talking about Drew Carey.
Hey, have you seen Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I mean, I've
Great.
seen him on that, but I never watched it like his sitcom or anything.
He was
alright.
He was in Baby Blues.
The
once.
first thing JD said to me was Cleveland rocks, and I knew we were going to be
I've been to
friends.
Cleveland like twice. Cleveland is like a 4-hour drive from where I live.
God, looking up Life with Louie on Google Images, nothing about it
It's just
looks
painful.
like pleasing to the eye.
Do you think it would be greenlit in this current age?
Depends on
In
depends
this
on how
day
much
and age.
money Louis Anderson still has.
I don't even.
In another country, maybe.
Let's kickstart a Life with Louie sequel.
It's Louis in his teenage years.
I don't even think he's relevant anymore. I don't.
I'm Louie. And
No,
now
he
I'm in
is.
high school.
He's in some FX show as a something popular. I don't know. He won an Emmy for
Neat.
it lately.
Oh,
Good for
shit.
him.
Life with Louie, the anime.
Oh boy. Well, before we go down that rabbit hole,
Yeah, Fox didn't hit its anime stride
Yeah, it's
until
true.
later. It's funny, we talked a lot more about Life with Louie than I thought we would, considering none of us said we saw the show earlier.
We were just talking about the design and voices
Yeah.
mostly.
Just talking
I,
shit.
I mean, that gives us
There you go.
material.
but so yeah, who wants to talk about some
Speaking of horrific monstrosities, let's talk
Yeah.
about Goosebumps.
Hey, nice segue.
Goosebumps? Is a
Are we gonna talk about Shrek gets goosebumps?
no.
Reader beware, you're in
Yeah.
for a
So
scare. Dun, dun, dun,
Goosebumps
dun,
was
dun.
like, hey, let's make Are You Afraid of the Dark, but let's make it during the day.
Let's make it
a
Are You
not as
Afraid of
good.
the Dark? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
What's under the
Yeah.
sink?
So
It's just a
obviously-
sponge.
It's a monster
So obviously,
sponge.
Goosebumps the show was based on Goosebumps the books. Based,
I loved the
Yeah.
books as a kid, though.
I
it
did
was
too.
good child horror. R.L. Stein's a weird dude,
The Girl Who Cried
Yeah.
Monster.
and that was kind of nice when they aired the show. Is that there were so many Goosebumps books out already that they had so much material for episodes that
Yeah, they had a lot of material to work
You
with.
know, the thing is, though, they didn't. At one point, they didn't even like do all the books. They just sort of
Mhm.
made up their own episodes at one point, and it's
Oh,
just like,
really? That I
Yeah.
didn't know. I
Yeah.
don't know how I feel. On one hand, that kind of goes against the point, but at the same time, that is kind of interesting.
Well,
Sorry,
I mean,
have
that-
hiccups
that way you're not
It's
like
okay.
going to the show. If you've read the books, then it's like you're not going in every time knowing how it ends.
Yeah, I remember one time when I think it was around Halloween. They had Slappy host
Oh,
Fox
yeah.
Kids, the dummy. Yeah, he was like the host of it for one day.
I vaguely remember that.
I remember one time I was dressed as the Skeleton Man.
Oh, shit, what was his name? Like I said, I was obsessed with it as a kid.
Mr. Bones.
No,
Melanie
it
Bones.
was something stupid. He was the mascot for Goosebumps, though.
Yeah. Did you guys know that guy from Freakazoid was in Goosebumps?
Curly, that's his name.
Oh yeah,
Curly the
weird.
skeleton.
That's a weird name, especially since he didn't have curly hair.
No, he had
like
a mohawk.
He had like a mohawk. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird name for a skeleton.
Yes, it is.
Slappy the dummy.
That dummy design for the show is very interesting. I remember when they reprinted the books, they used that design on some of the covers.
The Slappy from the books is a little unsettling. I
think the one on the books is a little creepier. The one on the show is just kind of like
that's the one they sort of used that one in the movie. Remember the movie?
Black?
Yeah.
That movie was interesting too. It's okay.
I was actually talking to some friends about the movie earlier. It's not the best, but Jack Black
I like
is
that
pretty
they
good
made
in it.
Slappy like a combination of him from the book and also kind of Jack Black.
Yeah, he kind of has the hair from the books, but the face from the show.
Well, I think Jack Black voiced him in the movie, and it's like his face kind of looks like Jack Black.
He did. Yeah.
Probably.
But remember that whole 20-minute exchange between Jack Black and Slappy the Dummy where they both said, "No, you're the dummy," back and forth. They could have cut that from the movie. I feel like 20 minutes is a little long, but I mean, apparently it killed. Yeah, look at that. He's scary. He's like, ah.
We were literally just talking about
him. Curly, the skeleton.
I went to get dinner. I'm sorry, I'm hungry.
You fool! You missed our whole conversation about Curly, and now we don't get to talk about him again. You did.
I used to have all the
What?
merchandise. Like, I've seen people go, "Oh, 90s aesthetics." It's like a fucking alligator stapler, shit like that. I used to have.
No, yeah. That Goosebumps had a lot of merchandise because they had like characters they could use. Because I remember having like stuff like of Cuddles the hamster.
I remember that. Monster Blood too.
Electric Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm.
This is bringing back all sorts of... You guys remember egg monsters from Mars?
Oh boy.
I sure do.
What a great concept.
Say cheese and die.
That
Say
was a pretty
cheese and
good
die
idea.
too.
The blob that ate everyone. No need to read it. I already
Eats
know what
everyone.
happens. Thank you for saving me the time,
Yes.
R.L. Stein.
Bed sheets were the ultimate merchandise.
God, I don't actually remember much of the show. I remember Night of the Living Dummy. Didn't they have like an hour long like the superhero one?
Yes, they did. They had Adam West in it.
Because of course it did.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then I think the first episode they ever showed was a late night special based on the
Haunted Mask?
Yeah, the Haunted Mask because it was a Halloween thing.
Yeah. My favorite book, Hey, That's Just a Shark.
Oh my god.
I feel like we could make a Goosebumps
Sure, why not?
revival. We could come up with some good books to scare the shit out of
kids are easily startled.
The roadkill that roadkilled you.
There we go. That's a good one right off the bat.
It's just a roadkill that drives around running kids down.
I got one. The big twist at the end is they get points. It's a game to them. They're like, I hit a kid. That's 50 points for me. Oh man, I want to make this happen now.
Yeah, so good,
Okay,
I don't know.
I think that's enough Goosebumps. I don't actually remember
Yeah,
anything
well,
about
I mean,
the show.
Goosebumps was just kind of in that line of like '90s pseudo horror shows, like Are You Afraid of the Dark, and then like Courage the Cowardly Dog came along.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not that great Canadian live action shows for kids.
Yeah, kind of.
Remember when Cartoon Network aired it? Goosebumps was
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite cartoon.
the CN Reel. Oh my gosh. So, who's a fan of Beast Wars?
Me.
Gary likes Transformers. He likes robots and stuff.
No, I don't exactly like Transformers. It's just the first one that I've seen.
Tell us a little bit about Beast Wars.
It's technically a prequel to the original Transformer in the 80s.
Yeah, because
like it takes place in the Stone
yeah,
Age.
they come to Earth like in dinosaur time. So instead of cars, they like scanning cars and turning into cars. They turn into the wildlife. So he's not Optimus Prime. He's Optimus Primal.
He's
a gorilla.
Yeah, he's a gorilla.
Well, Gary, wasn't it? They had to disguise themselves as the wildlife because like they couldn't survive in the environment yet.
Yeah, apparently prehistoric Earth is full of energon. It will overload their circuit or something.
So like the animal modes are just like a code or something.
Yeah,
I remember my friends in elementary school really liked Beast Wars, but I never saw it. So anytime we would play it at recess, I was like, okay, I don't know any of them. Just tell me who to be. Wow.
Oh, and
yeah,
that Griffin.
Really and fun fact, everybody: Beast Wars and Reboot were done by the same studio.
That I did know. I did know.
I think
they need to do a remaster of Beast Wars, do with modern CGI.
Yeah, because much like Reboot, Beast Wars' graphics kind of aged like cheese.
But it works well for the show because they're robots.
But anytime they try to do any kind of animal or environment, it's kind of really awful.
Yeah, they have prehistoric human and they look freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pixar hadn't figured it out yet. Or the rest of us could do it. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember that Beast Wars was on Toonami.
Holy shit, you weren't kidding about the cavemen.
Oh god,
shit.
The weird monkey men.
Hi, I'm Paul.
I'm glad he got work afterwards. I remember at recess I would always be Rat Trap, and I was like, okay.
He was the best. You were blessed with this.
I'm glad, in retrospect.
The show did get a little confusing later on, because it did involve stuff with characters from the original Transformer. Like when Starscream had an appearance, and I have no idea who he was. And
Starscreamer. He turned into one of those creators on the internet.
He's whiny enough as it is.
You know what this show's animation style kind of reminds me of is Xavier Renegade Angel.
Well,
hey Dustin.
Huh?
Beast Wars had a Donkey Kong crossover. Look.
Oh hey! For those listening, I was just shown a picture of Optimus Primal riding a rhino. So
that's Rhinox.
Donkey Kong Country.
It's Rhinox.
I get the reference. Oh, okay. I don't know who that. I just got the Donkey Kong reference. Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
This show
they couldn't have just made him be a bee.
But they do have a giant fly, Waspinator.
Waspinator.
Yeah, Wasp.
Yeah.
Oh, Ratchet.
Yeah.
And Clank.
Like,
This show helped save the Transformer franchise. The toys were going downhill before
Yeah, 'cause
this.
That's really weird to think about, that this CGI
Well,
mess
they were
is what
probably
saved-
like, well, kids don't want cars anymore, so let's try animals, and there you go.
And I'll be honest, if there was anything I would be more into Transformers, it would be that. I like animals more than cars.
Weird.
They have an anime of Beast Wars? That's bizarre.
When did that happen?
Oh yeah, there's the Powerpuff Girls parody. I remember that. Ridiculous Lucky Captain Rabbit King. Lucky Captain Rabbit King nuggets are for you. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Beast Wars was probably one of the bigger shows on Fox Kids. I remember they pushed that a lot. Well, that was on for a good while, probably a good 4 or 5 years.
Well, it was for 3
Yeah,
seasons, and then they have a sequel
Yeah, when they-
series that was really weird.
Beast Machines.
Yeah. Optimus Prime became Primal became a hippie, basically.
Neat.
It's hippie versus the man.
That's weird.
I think Transmetal was the video game, wasn't it?
The Transmetal, I think, is season 2.
Was it one of those things where they changed the title every season?
No, Transmetal is like their name for them, like their form. Like Optimus Primal got a hoverboard or something.
Oh. He Marty McFly himself. Got himself a hoverboard.
Oh yeah, he has the like little wheels in the
Yeah.
back.
What's a Segway? Oh, about 8 pounds.
Well, unless you guys want to talk more about Transformers, I can segue into some.
I have
Okay.
something to say. Not about Beast Wars, though, but I just remembered there's a Goosebumps book, The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena.
oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay. Well, then go find the snowman.
Go get the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena and bring him over. Excuse me, are you the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena? And he'll say, why, yes I am. Do you remember me from Goosebumps? I loved you in that one book you were in. And he'll say, shucks, I'm glad I still have fans.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Kyle, why do you sound so far away?
You sound so quiet.
Well, come closer. Well, stop doing that.
I
Wish I had some. Oh, well. Hey,
don't have anything to eat. I'm starving over here. Listeners,
I've just been
send
drinking
help.
a lot of iced tea and it makes me have to pee. Anyway. So who wants to talk about Big...
So
who
what's
wants to talk
next
about
on
Big
that?
Bad Beetleborgs, a show I didn't watch?
Big Bad Beetleborgs.
You keep saying that.
Wait, what?
The Blue Ghost Man
Yeah.
with Jay Leno.
Yeah, that's what you get if you put Jay Leno, Bill Clinton, and the genie from
Pretty
Aladdin
much.
into a blender. Why didn't you get it? I don't want that thing in my house. Imagine having this guy looking at you while you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Ugh.
I remember watching this, but it's not the American version.
Yeah, that I think Cartoon Network had a couple different, or not. Why did I say Cartoon Network? Fox Kids had a couple of different of these shows like this. I think they had VR Troopers and
VR
and then I
Troopers,
think they had
yeah.
a masked Kamen Rider. They brought Kamen Rider over once. But all these like Sentai-esque shows they brought over because like Power Rangers is popular. We gotta get more of those, and then none of them really measured up to Power Rangers. They didn't last long.
Weird. I can't believe Disney didn't get this license when they bought.
I mean, I'm sure. Did they?
Maybe they did, but I don't think they
I mean,
did
why
anything
would they?
with it. Yeah. It's not like they were like, you know what has a lot of exploitable marketability? Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Well, it only ran for 2 seasons in Japan.
Yeah, so they didn't have much to work with.
Bring that shit
So
to
it was
Disney
bad
parks.
back then, too.
Yeah, even by 90s standards, it was bad.
Yeah, the only thing I remember about it is the Blue Genie Man.
That's about all you can take away from it.
But there's so much crossover potential. They could have had him meet the genie from Aladdin along with Bill Clinton. My favorite Disney characters. Put him in the Hall of Presidents. I have nothing else to say about.
So
Big Bad
tangentially
Beetleborgs.
related, Phil, you said you watched the Ninja Turtles show.
Yes, I did. I wasn't sure what to expect when I saw it.
They got a lady turtle with turtle boobs.
I remember that, and I specifically remember an episode where they were talking. Leonardo was talking to her in private, and it sort of pissed me off as a kid because when you're younger, you would think they're all related, like they're brothers, right? But like he's talking to Venus de Milo, and like they were like, "Are you our sister or something?" And like she's asking, "Am I related to you?" And Leonardo's like, "I don't. Well, my brothers. Well, they're not really my brothers." I was just like, "Oh, fuck this." And it's like
They're
my
brothers in
childhood was
spirit.
ruined because I thought they were. Yeah, they're brothers in spirit. I was like, no, they were brothers all together.
Came from.
But now, like the new Nickelodeon shows, like no, they're all different turtles now.
I think that kind of works though. Even though they're not related, they're still spiritually brothers. They're
Yeah,
still
that's fine.
I mean,
connected.
Splinter's
I think
not their
that
real
works.
dad.
Yeah,
That's
it's true.
Are you telling me that a rat didn't father these 4 turtles?
Dustin, go back
all
and
know
learn
that
biology.
Watch
And,
the
like,
first
another
episode.
thing, like,
any
they
adaptation.
mentioned Shredder. They mentioned Shredder in the show, but like he was replaced by some dragon guy.
Fun.
He was like a purple dragon man or something.
They couldn't afford the real Shredder.
I don't know. I'm looking it up now. Yeah, he looks like a really bad, sort of like you ever seen it was sort of like a live action Super Mario Brothers like skit show. It's like King Koopa's something or another. That's what he looks like.
King Koopa's like cavalcade of comedy.
Yeah.
Look at these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle faces.
Yeah.
Look at Michelangelo. He's just like, what's this shit?
Yeah. The villain, like, here's the villain. He's some
The
dragon guy.
Man.
He looks
That
better
looks
than
kinda
the heroes.
Yeah, he looks like he's not that bad. The turtles are just kind of like.
But
"Ugh."
here's the thing, like, he had a sidekick. It was just like a Muppet.
They're
That's
all
all it was.
Muppets.
It was just a Muppet.
I mean, that's a way to get me interested.
I mean, that's his sidekick. He sort of looks like Uncle Deadly, but, like, he has, like, wide eyes and he's green.
I'm
There he
pretty
is.
sure Jim.
I mean, that was around when they weren't using Uncle Deadly. Oh, he's kind of a cool puppet.
Yeah.
He is.
He's like.
I'm pretty sure these were
Looks
still
better
done
well made than the
by Jim
turtle.
Henson because you could still.
Yeah.
They kind of like looking at the turtle suits. They kind of look like the dinosaur suits.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I
The
knew
thing
they looked
is, yeah, but they only did the first 2 movies. At least they still look better than the 3rd movie, at least, or
never
around
seen
the
the
same
live-action movies.
same area. The first 2 are pretty good in my opinion, but the 3rd one just don't watch them. Don't watch
am I
that.
in the minority for liking the CGI movie?
No, I liked it. I thought it was alright.
I haven't seen it, but I thought it looked all right. Like the
It mostly-
CGI was pretty good.
It's not bad.
It most-
I liked it.
It
a
mostly
lot.
makes me
It's
sad because
different.
the studio shut down. They were gonna work. They were working on a Gacha Man movie, and I wanted to see it.
Oh.
It's because their Astro Boy movie
Yeah, it
did
did.
really bad.
I liked that Astro Boy movie. I don't know if I'm in the minority on that one, but I
It
thought
was all right.
pretty-
I liked it.
I also
Yeah,
haven't
I've
seen
never
it in
seen
years,
it.
but I remember liking it.
My God.
Nice.
That's too
Falls
bad.
kids nostalgic.
That little puppet man, he sort of looks like something from Dark
Kinda.
Crystal or something.
He's
he
a
looks like
Skeksis.
Kind of does.
he is a
God.
Skeksis.
I still need to see. I know this isn't the place to talk about it, but I still need to see the
Yeah.
Dark Crystal.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's not subtle or nuanced.
So yeah, who wants to talk about Augie and the cockroaches?
Well, first let's tell everyone we can't just skip Salmon.
Oh,
We
yeah.
need to say something about what we have planned.
Yeah,
for
let's
it.
talk about Sam and Max
For a little
tiny,
bit, because
tiny
Sam and
bit.
Max
It was
will eventually be its own show at some point.
It's an awesome. It's probably the best of the Fox Kids shows in my
As much
opinion.
as much as I'd like to talk about it tonight, it deserves its own episode because Sam and Max is just so good
Mm-hmm.
in any incarnation. Well, don't spoil it for the folks at home. We'll make it a big reveal for the Sam and Max episode. Even though I think you already said it, but it'll be a big reveal.
All right.
And okay, we'll save all that Sam and Max talk for that episode. Stay tuned, everyone, because
Yeah.
it'll be a doozy.
Mhm.
Anyways,
Yeah,
Augie and the
so
cockroaches.
I looked this show up because you guys told me to put it on the list. Apparently, the show is still going.
It is
Yeah.
still going. Okay. It's from France. It's sort of like Tom and Jerry, where none of the characters talk. It's just slapstick between Augie and these three asshole cockroaches. But like in the first season, it was always like Tom and Jerry, where the pest would always win. But like later seasons, Augie would always usually be the winner of the episode.
Because those cockroaches were assholes.
Yeah, the thing is, I never really watched Augie when it was on Fox Kids. I remember it fondly, like, being advertised and such. But I watched, because you can find, like, every episode online. I watched it later down the line, like, when Netflix had it, and it's pretty enjoyable. Like, because it's from France, their animation's, like, really good there.
That studio does a lot of fun design.
Yeah, they do, and it's very well animated, and it definitely pushes the slapstick. Like, it can get pretty violent, like more violent than even Tom and Jerry.
It's French Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, it's pretty much French Tom and Jerry, but like it's on its 8th season. It actually got a theatrical movie in France.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it even has a movie, and that's really well animated too.
I
But
need to
like
watch that.
it's one of those shows, like, it's just really weird because, like, the characters, they don't talk, but, like, the cockroaches always speak in laughter, and Augie always speaks in meow, so it's like, meow, 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 meow. It's like, it's really weird because it's just a mixture of sound effects, the way they talk.
Which means it's instantly accessible for any audience.
Pretty much. That's why it airs in, like,
don't have to
every
translate
country. Except
Hey, let's talk about when it aired on Nickelodeon.
Oh, yeah, and then it got banned because someone found naked breasts on the background
Boobies.
image.
Yeah, there was a painting on the wall of a naked lady.
Naked ladies are the best.
It was well, they should have figured, it's like, it's from France. That's
France is
normal
way-
over there.
That's on them.
Yeah,
That's on Nick's
they're way more
fault.
liberal about that kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's like 300 plus episodes.
I mean, if it's
at
been
the
running
moment.
for 15
I
years.
remember that was another show. I remember that was another show they featured heavily when they did that Fox Kids promotion at Discovery Zone, I think. Unless
Yeah.
I'm just getting it confused with Space Goose. But
No,
I think I
well-
remember both being there.
Yeah, well, we can segue into that because Space Goose was from the same company, same
Oh.
guy.
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
Space Goofs is one that I remember.
I've
seeing
never
a
heard of
little
this
more
show.
They did.
It did have a video game for the PC. They tried to make a movie that didn't get off the air.
That didn't go anywhere.
But like the cartoon was dubbed. You could definitely tell it was dubbed because it's from France. But like they had Maurice LaMarche in there, Charlie Adler. I think Jeff Bennett was Bud, the
usual
dumb orange
suspects.
one. Yeah, and then Danny Mann.
Yeah.
He was gorgeous. The fat blue one.
And then Stereo, who was either there or not, depending on.
But
what
yeah,
seasons you
he
watched.
wasn't originally there. I think he was made for the Fox Kids version, but then they got rid of him in later seasons.
Is that the story?
I think
behind it?
so. Yeah, I think
I
Stereo
remember-
I think Stereo was made for the Fox Kid version.
See, that I didn't know. I just remember hearing like he was in season 1, and then when it came back, they just wrote him out of the show because they didn't like him.
Yeah, which is weird though, because there's a theme song by Iggy Pop that's really good called Monster Man, and they actually mention Stereo in it.
Yeah. And even in the seasons where he's written out, he still shows up in a couple episodes.
He's just there. I know that Augie and Space Goose had like cameo appearances in each other's shows too.
Interesting. That studio does a lot. Don't they do a lot of movies too?
Yeah, they do some of the Lucky Luke movies. They did the Daltons series. They did Zig and Sharko.
That's a nice looking show too.
Yeah, if you look them up, they do a lot of shows that you might recognize. That some are obscure, some aren't. Like they did whatever that ninja show that was on Nicktoons where they go to school, Shuriken School or something.
Whoa, they did that Life is Magic show?
Yeah, they did that. That's their show.
I had that looks nothing like their other shows. I would never have guessed.
Oh yeah, that's their whole team.
That's I've never seen much of that show, but it looks really nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's from France.
France also
yeah.
do 2D animation.
They sure
Yeah,
do.
that's why they still do it. They still do it hand drawn, no less.
Someone has to, I guess. Someone needs to pick up the
Right.
slack.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how to pronounce the company's name. It's like Exlum or something.
I thought it was Zilam or something.
He's all probably yeah. It's like
Some
that. Look
French
them up.
word.
A lot of their cartoons are really great in terms of
Yeah.
animation.
They do nice stuff.
Yeah. Kyle's French.
They sure are.
One of these days, I kind of hope they make a legit good Rayman cartoon because I feel like they can pull it off.
That would be awesome. I feel like they
Man's
could really
making a
nail it.
comeback.
They could.
Why haven't they done that yet? I mean, Ubisoft has like a TV studio or something now.
Yeah. I mean, they
know.
did that Rabbids cartoon.
Yeah, they
Oh
did.
yeah, they did.
Oh, Zilam did that Floopaloo cartoon.
Well, yeah, Floopaloo, where are you?
I've never seen the actual show, but that show has great character designs.
All right, enough about them. We'll talk about them another time.
I need to see more Augie and the Cockroaches sometime, though. I feel like I've only seen a few episodes.
Yeah,
but,
I've streamed them. I should stream the movie
yeah.
sometime. It's actually
I'd
pretty
be
good.
down. But
maybe I'll stream
they
it this
made-
week.
they made that Dreamcast game, Stupid Invaders, based off Space Goofs, except
yeah.
it was for a more adult audience.
Oh yeah, it was a point and click game too.
Oh, what a coincidence! Ubisoft.
There you go, man.
Well, there you go.
I want to play that sometime too. That might be fun
Mm-hmm.
if I can get it through
yeah.
totally legal means. But okay, what's next on our list? Those French shows are all. Ooh, a little
Yes,
show
regale
called
us what
Toonsylvania.
Toonsylvania is.
So Toonsylvania, another Steven Spielberg
Yeah.
show, believe it or not.
This is when he went to DreamWorks.
Yeah, Toonsylvania was a sort of pseudo variety show. So there were like 3 different regular skits, or 4, I guess. One was about Igor, Dr. Vic Frankenstein, and Phil the Frankenstein monster.
Voiced by let's tell him about the voices. Like Phil was Brad Garrett. Wayne Knight was Igor.
Wayne Knight, yeah. What's the name of the guy who voiced Victor Frankenstein? He was the Loeb on Freakazoid.
Yeah, he was the Loeb and Nurgle in one of the Billy and Mandy episodes. That guy.
Yeah.
He's great. Wow. Yeah, I'm probably the only one who's ever done fan art of it.
Oh, Darla Doily.
Darla Doily Demon Doll.
I'm gonna chop you into itty bitty pieces.
That's a great episode. This show, I think, still holds up from what I've seen. Like, I've only seen a couple episodes recently, since most of it is pretty lost.
It sucks, though, because, like, Netflix Mexico had, like, the whole series, and you can watch it in English, but for whatever reason...
Why didn't no one rip it?
I know.
Come on, Internet.
But, so the first skit, like, the main skit of the show was the ones with Igor. That was kind of what the show was built around. And then they had the Deadman family, or Night of the Living Fred. It was about a family of zombies, and it was made by the guy who did,
Mother Goose and Grimm.
Oh, yeah, because when you were showing it, I thought it was weird that the art
style
style shifted so much.
Yeah, So, yeah, that was just a family of zombies and the typical zombie humor you get out of them. You know, like, one episode had them having dinner with another family, and they had, like, maggots and...
Wasn't the dad Matt Frewer?
He sure was. He was the best character, and he would always go on long tirades.
Oh, yeah.
He'd say, like, sometimes you gotta stop and smell the roses, but I don't remember it. I can't quote it, but it was very funny.
And they also had a pet dog, which is pretty much just a dead Grimm.
Yeah, it's just Grimm, except he's dead. He's just and he doesn't do anything. He just lies there. But then the third sketch was Melissa Screech, which was a book read by Igor to Phil, trying to teach him lessons about a shithead little girl named Melissa Screech, who always does... Like, every episode was about her being a huge asshole bitch to everyone and doing something wrong, like...
making faces, yeah.
Making faces and having it stick that way. One episode was about her out past her bedtime and she gets taken away by the boogeyman. And then there were some musical episodes where she met, like, the Three Bears, Cinderella. Those were great. I missed those.
Yeah, there was a fourth skit. It was off and on, though, but the animation sort of... It was really weird.
The B-movie parodies, those ones are great. Those are kind of the lesser-known ones, since those weren't in, like, every episode. It was just, like, an occasional thing, but those were fucking great. Those are really funny.
Yeah, the animation for those were really weird, too. Like, really good weird.
Yeah, it was, like, meant to be kind of like, 50s sort of style, very flat, and... There was the guy who always said, "Hey," voiced by Billy West.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he'd be like, "Hey, what the hey?" And say "hey" every sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it was just a fun, cartoony... It was kind of filled with, like, dark humor. I mean, you know, kid-friendly dark humor.
Yeah, there were some original songs in there, and just like any Steven Spielberg series, the songs were really great.
Yeah. And this show's nowhere to be found online or on streamable anywhere. There was a VHS release of some episodes. There's some episodes on YouTube, so look them up, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting out a call to arms. I'm asking people out there to find the lost episodes. I'll give you $5.
Well, can I interject with a different show?
Yes.
Okay, it's not on the list. I just remembered it when we were talking about Deadman's dead dog, and I just want to bring up Sticking Around.
Oh yeah, I forgot that wasn't on the list. Sticking Around was on Fox Kids.
I have no idea what this is.
Well, it was a Canadian show, but it was brought over to Fox Kids. It was basically just a show about stick figure people.
But it was really good. It was really good.
I loved that show as a kid.
Yeah. It was, Stacy and Bradley were, like, the main characters, a girl and a boy, and then they had a bunch of weird friends.
Yeah. One of the characters was a little girl, and she carried around a dead dog.
Pepperoni was the dog's name.
Yeah, it was just her dog, but it was dead, and she talked to it like it was alive.
And then there was a kid named Dill, and all he would do was scream, and he would
all
just
of his dialogue was screaming. So it'd be like, holy mackerel!
Hey guys! Hey Dill.
No one liked Bill because he screams a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But both Sticking Around and Toonsylvania were around the same time. Both were very good.
Yes, they were.
Toonsylvania was also created by Bill Kopp. Same
Bill
creator
Kopp has a
as,
lot
Eat
of
the
shows
Cat.
on this list.
He sure does. It's not on the list, but he also helped
Oh,
make
nice.
Dan
I
Versus.
love that show.
I don't know if he helped create it, but I know he worked on the first season.
I think he wrote
That's
for
a
it,
quality
yeah.
show right there.
Yeah. He's a cool guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He does a lot of cool artwork. I like his cartoon style. He worked on Mighty Magisaur. He was at the rap party, and I didn't know that. Yeah, we should have said hi if we'd known he was there. I just forgot he worked on the show entirely, so
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I saw him upload pictures on Facebook, and I said, "Hey, why didn't you meet him?"
Yeah, and then I was like, oh shit, and then I guess he was there, but I didn't know. And now I would have gone up to him and been like, hey, so I know you get this all the time, but huge Toonsylvania fan.
That would have been great.
But,
We could segue
Yeah.
into his next show from here, I guess.
well, one last thing about Toonsylvania,
Mhm.
well, I guess I don't really have anything else to say about it other
was
than
a
it
good-
was very good and I liked it a lot.
And we need it on some sort of DVD or Blu-ray, please.
Yeah, I'd have more to say about it.
Come
if
on,
I could
Spielberg, get
actually
on it.
Watch it. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You have that name. Use that name
Yeah.
to make them put Toonsylvania out on DVD. But okay, now we can move on to another Bill
So
Kopp show.
I've
Mad
seen like
Jack the
pictures
Pirate.
of this, and I think the style looks really interesting. But like, what is this show?
It's basically just a cartoony show about a pirate. who's
A
an
very
asshole.
yeah, he's a pirate who's smug and smarmy, but he's not a very good pirate.
He has the same voice as Eek the Cat, but he's probably
Is
the
he-
exact
is he gonna be-
opposite character.
Is he gonna be king of
Yeah,
the pirates?
and his sidekick is what?
Who's making weird noises?
That would be me.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't hear what
I-
Kyle said or JD
I was
said. because
making
of
a
you.
joke asking
What
if he
did
was
you
going to be
say,
king of the
JD?
pirates.
Oh,
See, it wasn't
because
important.
One Piece aired on
At some
Fox
point in the
Kids.
future. Yes.
I get the joke, but I haven't seen too much of this show. I've only seen like maybe 4 or 5 episodes, but I've
It seems
liked
like
them
it'd be
all.
fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, and his Bill Dret sidekick is Billy West again.
Yeah, Snuck the rat.
Snuck. There he
Oh
is.
right, what a fool I am. He has a cool design. I really wish I could say more about Mad Jack the Pirate other than it's a good show. I need to
Yeah.
watch more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I think about what kind of stories I want Urchin to be, that I kind of use Mad Jack the Pirate as a sort of example. Not exactly the same, but you know, kind of cartoony piratey shenanigans. It had him like meeting like sea monsters, you know,
Many
typical
pirate stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
It was a fun show, and he has a fun design, and it's
All
good.
right.
It gets a thumbs up from me.
So Kyle, why don't you tell us about Big Guy and Rusty?
Okay, moving on. No,
Rusty was pretty cool. It was one of those cartoons. It's kind of weird because it was independent comic. So, yeah,
Kyle, we can't hear you. You're too far away.
Kinda.
is
Big
this
Guy-
better?
That's a little better.
Big Guy Rusty feels like it shouldn't belong in the 90s. It feels like something from the 50s or something.
Yeah, it kind of has that retro art style.
It's just kind of weird because it was like a Sam and Max kind of independent comic turned into a cartoon, and this was kind of
Yeah.
that too. This was one of those action cartoons. it's just that like the main guy is the main hero for the city, I guess, and it's just a guy in a big robot suit. They think the robot is. They lied to the people and said the robot is its own thing. They couldn't get the artificial intelligence to work.
Oh, that's too bad.
So the big guy is actually like a suit that some military dude wears. And,
It's a mech suit.
Interesting.
some company makes Rusty, and then it becomes a sidekick. Rusty's voiced by Bobby Hill's voice actor.
Pamela Adlon.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah, that I remember.
She's
There's a lot of King of the Hill people because the guy who does Bill is like one of the main kind of antagonists.
I love Stephen Root.
oh really?
Yeah, it's just
That's awesome.
There's one thing that I
there too. It was just kind of a weird show. Monsters would come in, they would fight it, and yeah.
But Big Guy's awesome because he's like machine guns in his elbow. It just flips open. But one thing that bugs me a lot about his design is that none of his joints works. Like when you look at it, nothing said that he can move.
That's kind of
It
true.
bugs me. Like even when I was little, it bugs me.
Tim Curry was a bad guy.
And
Tim Curry is a
It's not in
delightful
real
man
life, just in the
I'm
show.
sure.
Yeah, he was a spider.
yeah, that's cool. Didn't you show me the comic?
Yeah, the comic is that's by this guy called Jeff Darrow, and the amount of detail he puts in one drawing, like it's just
Yeah, you showed me at the comic place. It's a little over the top sometimes.
a fucking drawing.
I ain't-
A skyscraper and put every window in there, put every person in the window doing something. Just
I don't got
Nobody
time to
got
be
time for
drawing that.
it's good. You guys should watch it. I think it is by the
It-
same people as like
Maybe. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind giving it a try sometime.
it is a fun.
I think I heard it was good,
Yeah, it's just a fun, stupid action cartoon. I love it.
Yeah.
and sometimes that's all you need.
It
It's
feels
on
a bit
Blu-ray, apparently.
really.
That's on
That's
Blu-ray.
a twist right there.
That doesn't sound right.
It feels very propaganda-ish. Like the whole entire show.
There's a DVD set for it, complete series for $60. Oh, never mind, $30. That's not as bad.
Well, that Blu-ray right here is $30.
That doesn't sound right to me. I could be wrong, but that doesn't seem like a show they would bother putting out on Blu-ray.
It's Dark Horse Comics. They ain't gonna explain shit.
That's true. That's very true.
Blu-ray, that can't be right. I think people are just upscaling this shit.
Yeah, it might be like a fan Blu-ray or something.
Still better than
But
nothing.
yeah, not a whole lot of Fox Kids shows get complete series DVD sets, so
Yeah,
this
right.
show is one of the lucky ones. I think like Sam and Max, Digimon,
Yeah, not too many.
Ninja Turtles Next Mutation.
Well, there's also Escaflowne. But that
Oh yeah, that's true.
did Metabot
not sure.
ever came out with DVDs?
What?
I'm sure it has some DVD out there. I mean, it's
What, Metabots DVDs? Yeah, it has a season. It has a couple season sets.
yeah. I know
The English
it's,
version. Yeah.
I want to say it's on. Never mind. I was gonna say it was on Netflix or Hulu, but I don't think it is. I doubt it.
Mm.
You can't make that call.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Cyber 6.
I
Anyone
have
know anything about
watched
Cyber 6?
like
It's an interesting show. It's based on the Argentina comic, funded by Canadian, animated in Japan.
The artwork for
yeah.
it. the art style
I've
for
watched
it
about
looks
half
very cool.
because there's only 13 episodes. I've watched about half of it just because I thought the art style looked really cool. It's very interesting. There's kind of a mystery going around because it's basically about this woman named Cyber Six, and she's she's been genetically altered or engineered or whatever, through this lab, and there's a big mystery about all that kind of stuff. But like the big thing is that, which I thought was very kind of strange, knowing this was on a kids network in the late 90s, is that she's a superhero, she's a girl, but she disguises herself during the day as a male teacher. And it's weird because watching it, because she has another one of the other teachers as her friend, and you get some serious gay vibes off this guy, because he's always like asking the male teacher to go do stuff with him, and it's like it starts leaning towards kind of having some romantic vibes to it, and it's like, that's kind of progressive for them, right? I mean,
a Fox Kids show.
Oh, the bad guy is supposed to be a Nazi. They just couldn't show it. Like in the original comic, it's a Nazi, like a tiny,
I don't know,
version of Hitler or something.
Oh, the little kid I'm seeing
one of the main bad guys is the little kid. He's kind of creepy.
Awesome. I really.
Oh
like
yeah,
this
I mean,
art
like
style,
Gary was saying, I mean, it's based on a comic from Latin America, animated in Japan, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, the animation is really great. The character design is really great. Just the whole style of the show is really interesting.
According
to
Wikipedia, it costs $360,000 per.
I don't know if that's a lot or not a lot.
Jeez.
What?
Maybe.
Well,
I think at the time it might have been a lot.
Probably.
I think shows were made pretty cheap back then. Like nowadays, that wouldn't be very much, but.
Yeah, but yeah, this is a really cool show. It's kind of a it's not really much of a comedy show. It's very much an action kind of mystery show. I mean, it's got a really cool art style, very kind of anime inspired, I guess.
I think
it's all on DVD
I think
too.
I think you guys should definitely check it out. I think it's really cool, and I need
so.
to finish watching it.
Oh, never mind.
Pick it up. Do pick it up.
So yeah, Cyber 6 is cool. We kind of already talked about Beast Machines.
Oh, I found a panel from the comic. Betty Boop is in it.
Maybe. I don't know.
But is this canon?
We already kind of talked about Beast Machines,
next?
so we'll just talk about Digimon for a hot second, because if we let go on, I'll go on for like another hour just on Digimon itself.
Ugh.
It is my one true pair, and I have problems. Shut up.
Paramon is the
I
best.
did pair Digimon and Monster Rancher together. My OTP.
I mean, Digimon was a huge part of my childhood. Like, I like you were in the Digimon camp or you were in the Pokemon camp, and I always kind of straddled the line of it. But when it came to watching the show, I definitely would prioritize watching Digimon over Pokemon.
When push came to shove,
I think so.
Digimon fan
I mean,
over
I was
Pokemon fan?
the Pokemon definitely has the better video games, but I think Digimon has the better anime. Because
agree.
I don't know if I can agree, because as a kid I liked both a lot, and I'd feel like I would be betraying one if I picked one over the other.
Yeah, Pokemon is just kind of it's a different activity every week, whereas I liked how Digimon had a ongoing plot.
Yeah, it's a little hard to compare them.
I mean, they're both good, and you're right. They're very much different things. But I think Digimon, all 3 seasons that were on Fox Kids had really interesting characters. Gave them all different personalities, and you could always attach yourself to one character or whatever. I really love the monster designs because they're always so. I think that was the thing why I kind of like Digimon more than Pokemon a little bit, is just because being a young boy in the late 90s, that Pokemon was more cutesy, where Digimon was more like, I don't want to say hardcore exactly.
Well, there's a Digimon that's basically a gun.
Yeah, there's a Digimon that literally is a gun.
So.
Hey, there was going to be a Pokemon.
It's true, Remoraid was going to be a
Pokemon
pistol.
that was a gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's topical.
Immediately dated.
Listening. We're on the.
But no, Digimon is great, and I love it, and it has stuck with me until my adult times.
I like season 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Season 1, 2.
I like season 2 as a kid, but it's a little
so
hard to
I
go
feel
back
kind of
to.
bad because I will definitely say the English dub has not aged well. At least for the first 2 seasons.
But I wouldn't watch it any other way. I would never watch if I go back and watch Digimon, it's only for nostalgic reasons.
I watched Digimon for nostalgia and for just because I like the show. So I have watched it. I've watched the first 2 seasons both in English and in Japanese, and I definitely say going back, I'd rather watch it in Japanese because the English dub is just so kind of hokey.
See, that's the thing. I like that it's so hokey and dumb.
I just watched it.
Shut up. Oh my
This
god.
is it. This
yeah,
is it,
I saw the Digimon movie in theaters, and it was not the wisest choice I made as a child.
I think you mean you saw the Angela Anaconda movie in theaters,
Exactly.
and then you saw the Digimon short afterwards.
We still have a few shows before we even get to that.
I've never seen Angela Anaconda before, and I was so confused.
Okay,
when I watched
do we just want to go out of order and just get Angela Anaconda out of the way?
VHS?
Oh no, we can wait.
No. We're gonna talk about this shit.
No, we need to wait, and we need to build up to Angela Anaconda. There's so many other Fox Kids shows we need to talk about first.
So yeah.
But who's your guys' favorite Digimon?
If we're talking first season, I definitely like
Fairyamon.
Agumon, because Metal Greymon and War Greymon are hardcore as shit. I love Metal Greymon. I also like Kabuterimon. He's cool. He's also
I like
cool.
Mega Kabuterimon.
Digitamamon.
My favorite is Digitamamon.
He's the little egg man.
He's a big ol' egg.
Oh.
He's awesome.
We're talking season 2. I like Flamedramon. He's rad.
I like the penguin monster.
Oh, Daramon? He's got a little,
Daramon!
and he has a little crown.
King Dededemon.
He's a little man.
He's cool. I remember
The Dark
liking
Masters, all of
Puppetmon
them
for
are
a
pretty
long
good.
time, too. He's kind of a neat design. I remember those Dark Masters seasons. Remember
He sure
how
did.
Digimon lasted like 2 episodes?
Piedmon was the only one who
Puppetmon
actually
lasted
did
like
anything.
6 or 7.
Remember when
Come on, lose your power. See, that's one of the things that gets lost in the English dub, is that any kind of reference to religion got dropped in the English dub. It's true.
And the show was never the same.
Get your.
See, I think Vemon.
I mean, maybe he's got way more evolutions.
That's just me.
Oh, I don't know about that. Vemon's
I mean,
kind of a shithead.
if you really want to get down to it, at some point in their evolutionary line, Omnimon actually fuses with Imperial Dramon, basically becoming a sword. So technically, I guess you could say Vemon is more powerful.
Did Vemon ever actually evolve?
No,
in the
he
show, or was
eventually
it
became
only
X
Armin
Vemon. That was his natural evolution. And then he
Okay.
fuses with Stingmon
Yeah.
to become Pail Dramon. And then they evolve again to be Imperial Dramon, and I'm a fucking nerd for knowing this.
You are.
As a kid, I fucking
Oh,
loved
Sylphimon, where like a fucking bird evolves. Yeah, a cat and a bird become a weird harpy thing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Angemon and Ankylomon, because they're like, okay, these are the only 2 we got left, evolve into some weird China doll.
No, JD. It's pronounced
Shut up.
Angelamon.
I'll destroy you. Oh my god.
Common mistake.
Oh my god. So yeah, Digimon's great and I love it. Oh my god.
I have fond memories of that first season of Digimon.
Aw, Palmon's adorable.
I'd go back and
I have a
watch
little
it.
figure of I have a little figure up.
Yeah.
Palmon's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Palmon's my favorite. She's always
Palmon's
been my
awesome.
favorite.
Oh my god.
She's my favorite Jack and Daxter character.
Oh yeah, that's right. The voices.
That must be
Oh,
some
speaking
really
of
good chocolate.
Palmon actually did
Oh,
evolve
Togemon's
into
rad.
one of my favorites, Togemon.
It's so simple.
Togemon's awesome.
Yeah, because
It's just a
only
giant
Japan was like,
boxing
alright,
cactus.
we're going to kick this cactus. We're going to give it fucking boxing gloves.
It's such a cool design. Digimon has a lot of cool designs.
And then she
She
eventually
sure does.
evolves into a dominatrix.
Yeah, that was
With a whip
that was a
and
little weird direction to go in.
Massive titties.
Whips and
Yeah,
chains, etc.
exactly.
but- now, only in the show, only Agumon
Yeah,
and
the rest of them
Gabumon Mega
didn't evolve into their
right?
megas until the Tri movies.
I like
Yeah, which. Oh, I was just gonna say, from what I've heard, someone on this show is a big fan.
Of what? Oh, I like parts of it.
Digimon Try.
Go listen to our 6-part review, everybody, that we did over the course of like 2 years.
But his one true parent,
I-
didn't make it.
I didn't say that at all.
Oh,
I said I didn't like that part of the movie.
I'd go back and listen to those episodes, but I don't care enough
It's true.
about the movies to go and listen.
It's
to
kind of
them.
a niche market. Totes, bro.
But you guys should all listen to it. Oh,
The
what
giant
about
monkey who
Edamon,
turns into a
the
metal
Elvis
monkey?
He was cool.
He does
And
sound
it
like
sounds
Elvis.
like this. It sounds like Elvis. Oh,
I think the
I like him.
The weirdest piece of merchandise that I've seen is they were selling Beelzebub's
Oh, that'd be rad as hell.
that's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
I remember seeing the Digimon movie in theaters as well.
I
and
just remember
liked
that
it at
movie
the
lasted
time.
like 2 weeks in our theater before they pulled it.
We saw. Me and a friend saw it when it was at the cheap theater, and I just remember being like, "Yeah!"
Because like the Pokemon
awesome.
movie was good. How else could this couldn't possibly fail?
Oh man, I hate to go off on a tangent, but when I saw that Pokemon the first movie in theaters,
That
that
was-
was a whole different. Did we talk about that last week?
I think we did.
Okay, that is just burned into my
Yeah.
memory. Seeing that theater so full. But anyway, this isn't about Pokemon.
Me, when I think about the Pokemon movie and the Digimon movie, I just think of how embarrassing.
Yeah, in retrospect, that's something where you're like, "I'm sorry, Mom and Dad."
You deserve to beat me at that time.
Hey, I also made
I'll
my,
give
my
you that
parents
one.
sit through the Rugrats movie, so I mean,
That one wasn't. My mom was a huge Rugrats
I
fan. So
I,
that
I
one
only
wasn't
feel
as
bad because of all the songs in that movie because I've rewatched the Rugrats movie, but skipping over all the songs. That movie is only 45 minutes long.
Jeez.
Song about circumcision.
Maybe we should talk about the
I plan
Rugrats
to, 'cause it's
movies on
20
an
years old
episode
this year.
sometime.
I would.
nice.
I'll definitely talk
Come
about
back
them with
in-
you. I like
so
those
everybody
movies.
come back in November
Yeah,
when we
same.
totally do that because it's on the schedule.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna be right back. See
We'll
you
try.
guys later.
We got a few for that.
Okay. Are there?
Quick, we
God
gotta
damn
talk
it.
about Angela Anaconda before he gets back.
Oh no!
No.
God.
We need to all be here
well-
for it.
I like
let's
Monster
talk about
Rancher,
Monster
and this is one of those few.
I was
God, this-
transported to a
Monster Rancher
faraway
wants to-
planet, to a world.
Monster Rancher wants to be
Monster Ranch
Digimon and
dressing.
Pokemon so bad. Like, it's like it. They picked it up mostly because it's obviously Bandai was a big toy distributor over here, and they own Monster Rancher, and
Mhm.
the way they dubbed it was just so. Because I mean, they basically have their own version of the Poke Rap, during every episode, and it's just another monster collecting anime.
I remember nothing about the show other than that I used to watch it a lot.
I only
I
remembered it, two things about it. I remember it being on Sci-Fi Channel at one point.
Yeah.
And
sure is.
Hair was voiced by Double D.
Sam Vincent.
Yeah. Sam Vincent.
I only
Yeah.
remember that
Suezo.
creepy eye thing that jumps around.
Suezo.
I don't know why, but every time I see Suezo, I picture him
I could see
Master
Dana
Shake's
Snyder
voice.
being Suezo.
I know that wasn't his voice in the show. Yeah, I know that wasn't his voice in the show, but for some reason I
I can
connect
see
those
that.
two characters.
He should be voiced by Billy Crystal.
Look at me, I'm finally in an anime.
I get that reference. And then he's blocked on the anime case by the barcode.
He's blocked by the Fox Kids logo.
I actually...
My strongest memory of Monster Rancher is I remember one time when I was a kid, me and a couple friends went to the mall, and they had one of those claw machine games filled with Monster Rancher toys. It was Hare, Suezo,
Tiger.
Golem, the wolf guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiger, the wolf named Tiger.
Did
Mochi.
it have the little penguin thing?
Yeah, Mochi.
Mochi, it's his name.
And I remember my friend was so good at that crane
Nice.
game, she got all of them. She got every last one of those characters. And that is my memory of Monster Ranch.
I tried.
Did any of you guys play the games?
Yeah.
I did. It sucks.
I liked it at the time. I remember
weird
being
because
really into
the
it.
anime makes it seem like, it's kind of like Pokemon, where it's like it's an adventure, but no, it's like a farm
Disadventure.
sim basically. Yeah,
It's literally just the
you
training.
train. It's basically like having a Tamagotchi. Basically, you like train
Yeah.
your monster, and then you go do this really basic fight in an arena, and that's pretty much it. And at least the first game, anyway.
Yeah, and then you use various games and music discs to unlock monsters.
As a kid, I thought that was the coolest thing.
And
It was pretty cool.
I remember being so into that idea, like using different CDs, DVDs, games, and unlocking different monsters.
I know.
remember
I
thinking that
think
was
there's a
the
list
coolest
out there,
thing.
but it said that if you put in specific discs, like specific artists or movies or whatever, you'll get specific special things. Yeah.
Huh.
That's awesome. Even today, I think that's a really cool idea. I'd be down if they made a new
Dustin,
Monster
nobody
Ranch
has
and, like,
disc
expanded
drives
on it.
anymore. That's dead media.
That's true. That would be a
Right.
little hard to do if you got it digitally.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a product of a bygone
Last year, I
era.
decided I was just going to sit down and like watch Monster Rancher, and I got like through about 25 episodes or whatever.
Was it good?
It is not aged well. It's very much very hokey, just like Digimon is. But because I don't have like a strong attachment to it, I kind of enjoy the dumb hokey. I mean,
The cheesiness.
I can't take a show seriously that literally calls the bad guys the baddies and the good guys are the goodies, and it's like I can't take that seriously. I
That's how
get
you
it,
know
but it's
who the
like
good and bad characters
they
are.
they say that with a straight face constantly. Because the whole conceit of the show is that there's these things called mystery discs, where these giant stone discs that you have to take to a temple to unlock monsters, and they're trying to find the Phoenix so they can fight the evil Master Mu, who is a giant demon man. And they got to turn the bad monsters into good monsters.
It's weird. I remember when they aired this on Fox Kids, they called them mystery discs, and then when they aired it on
Weird.
Sci-Fi, they were called mystery stones. And like it was the same show, but like Even the theme song was the same as the Fox Kids version, except instead of mystery discs, it was
Copyright
stones. And I was
reasons?
like, why did they change this?
That is
And then
very
Sonic
weird.
and then Sonic Underground aired after that.
We'll say that for the Deke show. But no, Monster Rancher is like a harmless, another monster collection show. It's, I don't know.
It has.
Mhm.
I kind of want to look at
Okay.
some of the creature designs. Since
I
looking
was
at them
watching
in
another
Google Images,
episode
I
the other
remember
day,
some
and
being
I think this is
cool.
the biggest bullshit. They are advertising, there's 400 monsters. And I'm like, yeah, because half of them are just palette swaps.
Pretty much.
You mean there's like 5 or 6 different monsters? And
Exactly.
then you
So
just
it's like,
multiply
it's,
them and change
it's
their
the blue
colors.
version of this. Or like, even, yeah, an ice
Yeah,
golem.
there's
It's the
Golem,
same thing,
except
he's just
he's
blue.
ice.
So,
I remember I had the Game Boy Advance Monster Hunter game, or Monster Rancher, not Monster Hunter. And I remember liking it a lot as a kid. It was basically the exact same as the PlayStation game, except you used. I don't remember how you unlocked monsters. I don't
know.
think you swapped Game Boy Advance cartridges.
remember the PS2 game had some weird shit where if your memory card had like movies on it or like games on there, you could switch your monsters or some weird shit.
That's
I don't know, man.
that's interesting.
So if you put Men in Black into your system, you'll get this monster.
Yeah, that's Monster Rancher is a very interesting series. I'd be
Maybe.
interested if they like
Talk to
rebooted
Bandai
it
about
somehow.
that.
Come on, Bandai, get on it. What are you doing over there? Helping make
Yeah, pretty
Smash
much.
Brothers? Yeah, that's what I thought.
They're rolling in Gundam money. They
Great.
think video game.
That's true.
So yeah, Gary, why don't you tell us about NASCAR
Uh,
racers? Because I've never seen this show.
Someone has to.
Well, imagine you have all the money in the world and you can only buy Hot Wheel tracks, and then you build the craziest contraption you can think of, and that's where all the
So it's
character
basically Hot
races
Wheels,
in.
the show.
And it's horrible misadvertising because they have this epic loopsy-loops, cars with rockets, and they can just imagine the racing James Bond's gadget car. And that's pretty awesome to my, 9-year-old self. And when I found out
I
what
could see myself being interested if I were a car guy as a kid.
And then when I found out what actual NASCAR is,
They're making
I was totally disappointed.
They're making
and I
a
never
left
wanna
turn.
watch the show again. It's just a big circle. That's the only thing I remember about it. How disappointed I was about real NASCAR from the show.
This isn't NASCAR. This is baby NASCAR.
These cars don't have rockets, they just got Danica coming at you.
My favorite Sega character.
But it's pretty interesting because the art-wise, it's pretty standard affair 2D animation for characters, but everything else is in 3D. All the cars racing, all the tracks in 3D.
I think I remember. I think that actually rings a bell for me.
I
now
remember them
kind of
adverti-
remember it.
Like
Yeah, I remember
it's
them
well done. It's well
advertising it a
animated.
lot, but I don't remember ever watching it.
I was also disappointed at the toys because they weren't as awesome as the show.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't have anything else about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think any
But
of
I
us do
think
either.
some of you have something to say about Flint the Time Detective.
Now, back from prehistoric times, here's Flint.
Hooray, Flint.
I loved this show as a kid.
So did I.
Honestly, I don't remember a whole lot of episodes about it. All I
do.
remember is I used to watch this a shitload.
It is pretty much another one of those monster collection animes, but like they travel through different time periods.
Yeah.
But in the monsters had they had status effects pretty much. Like they could give people certain powers, or
Weird.
they could change the environment.
See, that's cool. I like that about it. basically just another monster collecting anime, but
Yeah, it was sort of like a monster collecting anime mixed with like Yatterman, where
yeah.
because the villains were definitely like Yatterman villains.
Mm-hmm. Petrofina.
Yeah, Petrofina and her frog and whatever guys.
It's her fish and frog henchman.
Yeah, and then they had a very flamboyant vampire.
Oh yeah, with Bindi.
Yeah, Murloc was his name, I think.
Murloc Holmes.
Yes, I think you're right, actually.
What a name.
What a dub name, yeah.
I bet they were real proud of that one.
Bindi was cool. Though she was one of those. She was like a weird Digimon case where, like, she had like a monster form and then, like, her super form was like just a normal human girl.
Right.
You have to appeal to the right audience.
Look at the big stone guy there.
That was kind of the same for all the monsters. They all had like a little mini form and then a big monster form.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had two different monster forms. They had like a evil form and then a good form.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they would turn evil, but they needed them to turn good.
It seems like Fox Kids has a pattern
That's
when it comes to
right.
monster collecting
I wouldn't mind
animes.
watching this show again. Yeah. This show kind of has some fun designs looking back at the monsters.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely one of those cult following animes.
Yeah, I remember. I think I never saw the last few episodes.
I
It's
did.
alright.
It was alright. I only remember like he was like petrified and they for whatever reason they brought him back, but like they couldn't bring his dad fully back, so his dad was a hammer.
Yeah, his dad was stuck in hammer form.
Yeah. So he used his dad as a weapon.
This would be a fun anime.
Oh,
to go
now I
back to,
remember.
think.
Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot about this show. I thought I never watched it.
Oh, looking at Google Images, yeah, Petrofina's henchmen were a frog and an eel.
Well,
Oh, that's right.
Interesting.
They're showing magazine scans from some that's all like, oh, here's new stuff. Digimon, Flint the Time Detective, Dragon Ball Z.
Flint the Time Detective had a fun theme song. It was like Hoondaga, Heendaga, and it was fun gibberish.
Well, the English version, the original Japanese version was one of those slow, romantic anime openings.
Yeah, why have that when you could have Meanwhile at the Time Bureau?
You gotta jazz it up for the kids.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I don't really remember that like any specific episodes, but I
Yeah.
remember liking it a lot.
Good job, everybody. Spider-Man
what's
Unlimited,
next?
and all
What do we
I
got
never
next?
really watched it, but it's like I think Kyle said before we recorded, it's basically the Batman Beyond for Spider-Man. Like it's a take on the Spider-Man 2099 comic, where Spider-Man's in the future, Spider-Man of the future.
Oh, okay.
And it's weird because like I don't know if
And
Marvel or DC
Animal-
like got the idea to make
Like-
a future version of their show. What?
They did that with everybody. They had like, 2099.
Yeah. But this and Batman
I
Beyond
don't
came out
remember
pretty much
much
around the
of-
same time, so I don't know if like one got the idea before the other or what. But
Well, Spider-Man is a little bit unique because it's not just he's in the future. It's in the future where human is like some sort of lower class society where animal
Something
people
like that.
rules the planet.
and it was
or
kind of it was
something.
really weird. It's some Latino.
I think it was like a Mexican Spider.
Yeah. Me either.
I never saw it.
I like the costume.
Yeah, he has like a weird cape.
Made of metal and shit.
I think so.
I think he's got claws too.
Yeah.
Well, he has like a net.
Kyle, you really need to get closer to the mic. I can
He has
barely
like a
hear
nano
you.
machine suit.
Yeah, you keep cutting out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
okay.
joke, everybody.
I heard that one.
Yeah. So I guess. Oh my god.
This
The thing
is
I've been
it,
dreading this
Digipals.
entire episode.
No, it's good.
From
What
what
do you
I've
know
seen,
about Angela Anaconda?
I know I didn't like
And
it
you can't-
because it was in front of the Digimon movie.
oh my god.
You're all fools, all of you.
I made a
There are
point to
other
never
reasons not
watch
to
it
watch
because
Digimon
of
movie,
that.
but Angela Anaconda is the main reason.
No. I made
Let-
sure that I don't watch Angela Anaconda thanks to the
Yeah,
Digimon
if anything,
movie.
I
It
think
did
that
not help promote it at all.
kept
I
me away
hated
from
it.
watching it. Well, okay, Dustin,
You guys
then
don't
you
know shit about Angela
sell us
Anaconda.
on Angela Anaconda.
I'll tell you a
please.
thing or two about it. I mean, I didn't watch it. That show sucked.
No, it's Minnie Pooh!
She says, "Oh, hi, Angela Anaconda," and then she says, "Oh, it's Minnie Pooh. She thinks he's so French."
Fake French.
Boy, do I hate you, Nanette
Who came up with these
Nanoir.
names?
She spoke in such stilted
And everyone was, like,
dialogue.
made out of
and called everyone by
cutouts
their
or
full
whatever.
names, like Johnny Abadi. Yeah, they're like cutouts of photos, and it was really weird.
It was like Miss Munger's class, only a TV show.
Yeah. Oh man, Angela Anaconda, the
my
DVD
God.
collection.
They made
over
that
50
many?
episodes.
Can we burn it?
Burn all
Let's
the
burn it.
copies.
You guys will never believe this, but apparently you can buy full seasons of
Oh,
Angela
boy.
Anaconda on Amazon Video.
Why?
So, Toonsylvania isn't up to watch anywhere, but rest assured you can watch Angela Anaconda to your heart's content anytime you want.
So yeah,
Oh.
it is a
This show
garbage
is
pile of a
one
show.
of the least
awful.
loved shows ever made. For good reason. Oh,
Yeah,
let's talk about
it
how
was
it started
a
out
short
on
on Kablam, like one short, and then I guess Fox bought it.
What is
Oh.
Calabam?
Oh, JD, you
Was
naive
there?
fool. There was at least 3. There were 3
And they
Angela
still made a
Anaconda
full
shorts,
show
I'm
out of
pretty
it?
sure, on Kablam.
That wasn't enough for people to say, maybe
They
this wasn't
sure
the best
did.
idea.
Maybe
Maybe
this
this
isn't enough to
high-pitched-
carry a series.
Well, it looks pretty low budget.
make this for
so
nothing.
Maybe that's why they
Yeah.
Kids will watch it because kids are dumb.
Let's see.
Oh my god.
Kablam shorts.
I
No,
think
there were
that's
only
still
2.
too
it
many.
looks like. There was one where, thanks to Nanette, Angela is forced to scrape gum during the class picnic. That's riveting. And Angela celebrates
Johnny
Valentine's
Abadi.
Day with her boyfriend Johnny Abadi. Due to copyrights being held with Fox, the episodes featuring this short are currently not
Yeah, I
allowed
can
to
see
air
that.
on Nicktoons.
And honestly, I'm fine with that.
So, thanks for that, Angela Anaconda. Because of you, Kablam. I think that might be why it also
I'm sure
can't
there's a
be
variety.
released on DVD or some reason. Or
Yeah,
it might
there's
have
so
been
many
just because of
copyrights
all of
with
the like one shot shorts. Yeah, but Angela Anaconda sure
Way to
didn't
be the
help. So
worst
thanks
show
for
ever.
that. Let's blame that
I mean,
one
I
on
would.
Nanette Manoir. Am I right? And her
Freshness.
fake Frenchness. Every episode, she has like a fantasy sequence where all she does is torture Nanette Manoir because she hates her so much.
I mean, I can
I
relate
think
to
that's
that
in
as a
every
kid.
episode. Get this, everyone! Angela Anaconda is an award-winning
What did it
TV
win?
show. Let that sink in.
What award?
In the year 2000, it won an Annecy Award for Best TV Animation Program. Let me repeat that. Best TV Animation Program went to
2000 was a
Angela
dark time.
Anaconda.
We were all confused. Y2K and all that.
and it won a Gemini Award for Best Animated Program or Series.
You know, we've grown as people since then, and we know better. We know what we've done in the past was a mistake, and you know, we just have to all move on from that.
Next time anyone shits on Angela Anaconda, just remember what all it's accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
What awards have you guys ever won in your lives?
I won a film festival by default
that's
once. I still have.
Well,
I got a certificate for it.
I'll give you that. You know what's funny is Angela Anaconda was actually made for Teletoon.
God damn it! Thanks,
so
Canada.
we shouldn't even be talking about it.
Jesus, couldn't keep that in your own yard, could you?
But you know, lots of shows were made in Canada that premiered on Fox Kids. I mean, we wouldn't have talked about
sometimes
Sam
Canada
and Max.
uses its
That was
powers
made
for
in
good and
Canada.
sometimes for evil. This being one of
That's true. And I think we can all agree that this was a time where it was used for 100%
I would have to
good.
disagree with you, but
I
other than it was
don't remember
terrible.
shit about Angela Anaconda, but I'll praise it to hell and back.
This is the hill you
I'll
want to die
die
on,
for
Dustin.
Angela Anaconda. I'm kidding. It was awful. I'm kidding. It was not a very good show.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
I think I've watched enough Fox Kids for today.
It was one of
I
those
think I
shows where, like,
discovered-
hey, Kids
discovered
WB is
Kim
still a thing. Let me
Possible.
flip over there while I wait for Digimon to come on. I'm gonna go find out what the sun is.
This show got 3 seasons. This show got 3 seasons with a total
It's prime
of
for syndication.
65 episodes.
It's the Johnny Test of its time.
That's a
Oh my
great
God.
way to describe it.
Just kept going.
Oh man, I have nothing else to say about Angela
Yeah.
Anaconda.
I hope
but I'm
that
glad
build-up
we
was
took
worth
the
it, you
time to give
guys.
it time to shine.
Let's get the creator on this.
Right now.
Let's call him up.
We'll have a nice interview. I wonder if we can get the brace
You
face
know what?
creator on.
I'd allow that. No, we have to get
Melissa
Alicia
Clark.
Silverstone on here.
Oh,
And I would just basically ask her about Clueless the entire time.
I'd be like, don't listen to this Philistine. Let's get back to Braceface. Your one true accomplishment in life, Alicia Silverstone. Yeah, I'm making that. call.
So in the interest of speeding this up, explain to me what Montcoli Nights is.
It's sort of like another Monster Rancher kind of thing. It's a monster collecting anime. And
Basically, I don't remember it, but people have said it's good.
it's a professor and 2 high school kids travel to the magical world to collect monster. And it had a lot of slapstick comedy, and somehow one of their human teacher is a monster.
Wasn't the dub like a gag dub or something?
I don't know. But I remember watching this in Cantonese one summer. It went, and it's pretty similar, like plot-wise.
Interesting.
And it was a fun story. When I left the States to visit Hong Kong back then that summer, I left the same episode of Montcoli Night, and when I arrived in Hong Kong, it's the same episode. And it's not even the American
my
version,
God.
too. It's the Japanese version.
That's funny.
With the Japanese theme song. And I learned that American show altered their visual, not just the dubbing and
Well, yeah,
opening song. They have like some religious
Everything
symbols
is heavily
that they got
edited
rid of.
when it comes over
They do
here.
that.
You
Yeah,
can't show that on TV.
kids are sensitive.
I don't remember Montcoli Nights, but it was
Yes,
on
Dustin,
Fox.
it was. Hence why we're talking
It was
about it.
fun. It's harmless. It's not awful. It's
Here's a piece of Montcoli Nights information. Looking it up on Google Images gets you a picture of the box art for the Game Boy Advance game The Muppets.
Okay.
On with the show. So there's that.
Well, if we want to get on with the show here, unless there's more stuff you want to tell us about Gary.
No, I
Alright
mean,
then.
it's fun, but unforgettable.
Well, speaking of a show that's not forgettable and a show that I like very much.
Oh well.
Shut up. Metabots was a cool show.
Metabots.
More so for its art style.
It's the second best show in the entire list here,
I'd give you that.
next to Digimon.
Didn't the creator of Metabots, I think, did something else I know of. I don't know if he like directed a Fooly Cooly episode or something. I just know the art style.
Your guess is
I
as good
know
as
was
mine,
used
man.
in something else I watched.
Uh,
Well, either way, it's
Yeah.
a nice,
And it's-
interesting art style for an
I was
anime.
rewatching this too last year, and it's really weird because there's like continuity between each episode, because the whole point of this show is that everyone in the world has these little robots that you can just like do Pokemon battles with, but they're robots. And if you win a battle, you can take apart like a limb or some kind of part from the other robot, and there's like continuity between who has what parts. And like they tell you at the end,
That's interesting.
It's
I think
weird
that's
'cause
a
they,
good
like-
idea for a plot.
they even
can
tell you
see
at
how
the
they
end of the
get a lot
episode.
mileage out of it.
Yeah,
They based this off a video game.
it has a couple video games.
Did
Now
it have
on
a video
player.
game?
Well, the video game came out in '97, and the show came out.
Yeah,
in
because I remember
99.
when we did our video game
Oh,
show.
okay. So I didn't know it was
Yeah,
based
'cause
on
we
a
were-
game. I just thought it was a show.
This show has the best toys.
I mean,
out of
they're
all the
mix and
other-
match
like, all the
robots.
shows on the list. Like you
They're
can,
pretty cool looking.
yeah, tiny little robot. You can take them apart down to the skeleton, even the little metal.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't look on eBay. I have 3 of them.
Yeah.
I like those little Digimon toys.
I like the Metabot ones because you can build them. Like Digimon, you
Yeah,
just change them, but Metabot you can
Mhm.
swap parts and such,
that's awesome.
or even do battle damage and just knock off the armor.
Wow.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I like Metabots. It's cool and it looks cool.
Another one I should probably go back and watch because I
Yeah,
people have
let's do a
nothing but
night
good
where we
things to
stream
say about
Metabots.
Metabots.
That would be fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So we're wrapping up here, getting towards the end. Anyone got anything to? Yeah, I guess so.
About time. am
Anyone
I
got
right?
something to say about Action Man?
Yeah, it's the CG. It's really meh. Beast War
Yeah.
looks better.
by
and
10,
Beast War
by
is
5
older.
years.
I'd never heard of this show before.
I like
but yeah,
vaguely
it's,
remember this
not that
like
good, is
being
it?
advertised and stuff, but yeah, it was.
It's like it's really geared towards the tween at the time.
Yeah,
with
it was like the
action
early
sports.
2000s extreme sports
It's
kind of thing.
specifically made for. Yeah,
Oh my god.
Dr. X, what a name.
and I think there's some Matrix influence too. Like every episode,
Yeah,
is just,
that
like,
was
slow mo.
everyone like in the first couple of years of the 2000s had to do some kind of like Matrix homage.
It kind of reminds
That's a
me of
ringing
Butt Ugly
endorsement.
Monkey.
Oh my
In
god.
case you guys needed any more reason to watch Action Man. Yeah, I can. I'll second that notion. Looking up Action Man on Google Images brings up
At least
Sam
there's
and
that.
Max, so
Yeah.
it's like, look, we know you're just looking this up because you're doing a podcast, but here's a show that's actually good.
So I guess we can we can get on with our last show,
What else?
and it's our good friend John Kay.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What a good one to go out on. The Ripping Friends.
I never really
That's
watched
a
Ren and
great
Stimpy as a
idea.
kid, so I didn't have like an affection for, that style and stuff. So I never watched the Ripping Friends. I thought it was kind of gross.
I loved Ren and Stimpy as a kid.
Like,
Not so much
like, what is the conceit of Ripping Friends? Like, what is it? Just like superheroes doing dumb shit?
Basically,
Jimmy the Idiot Boy.
yeah, one of John Kay's most famous
He was in
cartoon
a
characters. 'cause
Bjork
he uses
video.
them in everything. He sure was.
This is one of those cartoons, just like Nights of Louie, where it's like just completely unmarketable. Everything's just really awful.
I mean, they made a Game Boy Advance
They
game.
made a Game Boy Advance
for it.
game for everything.
But it's weird because this is
That's true.
one of those things too, where it appeared on the kids' channel, and then they pre-played it on the adult channel. Just like
Yeah, they played it on Adult Swim a couple of years later. That was weird.
yeah.
That's where I saw most of it. I never saw it when it was on Fox Kids, but I watched it when it was on Adult Swim because I was like, wow, I like Spumco, and I never saw this. I'll watch it now. And it wasn't very good.
They changed the rating, so the Adult Swim version is probably more raunchier.
Oh no, it was just the exact same as the Fox Kids version.
Really? But according to Wikipedia, the Fox Kids version is rated Y7 and the Adult Swim is rated PG.
I don't think they changed anything. I think it was just the exact same show.
The broadcast standard changed.
Wasn't this around the
Yeah.
time they did, like all the Spumco stuff? The Jetsons ones.
Boy, I wish I could hear what you were saying, Kyle.
My mic is like right up to my face. It's
You've cut out like 5 times in that one sentence.
good. I was saying, wasn't that around the time they did Boo Boo Goes Wild and the Jetsons ones?
I think those were after Ripping Friends, or I could be wrong. No, because that was before Ripping Friends, because Boo Boo Runs Wild was before Adult Swim.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it just aired on regular Cartoon Network first, and then when Adult Swim came along, they re-aired it on that.
He had some things to say.
Very important.
He sure did. But, yeah, Ripping Friends, not the greatest.
I only remember there was an episode with a chewing on a gun. That's all I remember.
I remember there was an episode about a flatworm, and that made me do a report on flatworms in high school. I think I got a bad grade on it because I wasn't very good at schoolwork. But oh well, now I'm here on a podcast, so be like me.
Follow your dreams.
Who's the real winner here?
Yeah, who really came out on
Um,
top? I'm talking on a podcast about the Ripping Friends.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyone else have anything to say about
I still
the
think it
Ripping
has a
Friends?
gross art style.
It sure does. Because, like, here's the thing. Ren and Stimpy was great since it had a lot of talented artists working on it, but I think the Ripping Friends was, like, a different studio. I think I remember hearing no one was ever actually satisfied with how the final product looked. But since it was a Canadian production by a different studio, they were like, well, that's it. That's the product that's going out.
Some art friend on eBay was signed by everyone. It's like, I want that hanging on my wall.
Yeah, I want the Ripping Friends being the first thing everyone sees when they come into my house.
So yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's Fox Kids.
That's a low note to go off
Remember they
of.
had a magazine and it was
Yeah, I got that.
some shit.
Yeah, it had a Sam and Max comic in
Good
it.
times, everybody. So yeah. So Fox Kids was
Good
cool.
times
It
were
was
had
the
by all.
it was the counterbalance to Kids WB in the big Saturday morning wars.
It sure was. Man, how cool! Thinking back at it, it was cool having like so many different Saturday morning blocks with such a variety of shows.
Yeah.
Not all of them good.
Like,
but,
I think it was nice because like you had such variety. So if one was showing something you weren't really into, you could always just flip over to the other one, and like there's probably something you would like. So
exactly, and all the blocks went for so long that they all went through so many different shows. They're like those blocks, Kids WB, Fox Kids, ABC, all those blocks just brought forth so many different shows when you add them all up. So many cartoons that
and it just kind of makes me sad now that, you know, Saturday morning cartoons, specifically Saturday morning cartoon stuff like that, isn't really a thing anymore. Well, just because, like, obviously if the cable channels and now we have streaming, it's like there's really no point for it.
Yeah.
Streaming,
which is both good and bad.
Apps.
Kids these days.
Kids these days.
Sorry, kids these days who might be listening to this.
Yeah.
No, not you specifically, just kids in general.
We're just
those other
we're just
kids.
old
The
people
other-
yelling
the
at the
other one.
clouds now.
So,
Exactly.
if Angela Anaconda came on TV and you were like, ew, I don't want to watch this, and you flipped over to Kids WB and Johnny Test was on,
I'd go outside.
Oh man.
There's still ABC
Yeah, I do that thing
see
I
what
did
my
as a
friends
kid
are
called
doing.
socializing.
and PBS.
I think one of my friends has new Pokemon cards. I'm gonna go check those out. Well, see, here's the thing. Johnny Test aired years after Angela Anaconda, so that would
Yeah,
never
your
happen.
hypothetical
that would
situation
not be a
falls
realistic
apart.
situation, Kyle. I found holes in your situation.
sorry.
It's okay.
But
you didn't know.
unless
Things
there's
happen.
anything else you guys want to talk about, go ahead. What are those words? Jesus. All right. Well, guys, go ahead, Dustin.
Nothing. I was just gonna talk more about Angela Anaconda.
Especially not me.
No one wants to listen, so.
Well,
You can make your
Oh
own
my God.
podcast. Just
yes,
talk
we're
about
gonna
every
start a
episode.
new.
I'll make a podcast specifically about Angela Anaconda, the Donkey Kong
specifically.
Country
It's those
cartoon, and
three
Brace
things.
Face. It'll be the Angela Anaconda Donkey Kong Country Brace Face Power Hour.
Oh God. Yeah, so comment
feel like
below
there's a
if you
real
want that to be a
audience
thing,
for
and
that.
Dustin can totally do it by himself.
Just let me know.
Oh, God.
I got my finger on the recording button.
So yeah, guys, thanks for listening for these past two shows. I hope you enjoyed kind of reminiscing with us about shows of our childhoods. Yeah, and
It's
thanks all
been
you guys for being here.
Blast.
And if
You're welcome.
anybody has
Thank
made
you.
it to 2 hours and 40 minutes,
The prize
There should be,
is
but there isn't. Good night,
yourself,
everybody.
Something.
The prize is the
satisfaction that you
journey
got
that
there.
you took along with us.
I
Yeah,
think
there
the
you
real
go.
prize is the
I like
friendship
that.
we made today.
Yeah, so yeah. So thanks everybody
Take
for
that.
listening, and we'll catch you all again next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ink and Paint Club podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can catch a new episode every week. Also be sure to follow us on our Facebook and Twitter so you can keep up with the show. Links are in the description. We'll see you next week.